on that one before.
Okay.
So for the whole 3 hours, are we just gonna be talking about topics and how to introduce them?
No! No!
That's how it's gonna make us lose.
No, it's not. We're making it good luck. Manifest. Manifest that. Frontiers. Frontiers. So we're going to talk about team analysis, fundraising, and goals for 3 hours. So it's going to be really boring, so you guys are going to make sense. You don't need to raise your hand. Yeah, well, no, you're just supposed to look at it and suffer. Miss Herschel's very overwhelmed. What? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We're not doing this duo.
Not no, I swear to God. Steve's the new president?
It's a dictatorship.
No,
Democracy.
no. Steve was the vice president last year. That's how that works.
Let's overthrow the president and
kill you.
What's he going to prove? He is going to be the president. He was the vice president last year, and he will do what he wants to do. Us or to select. Big point. Okay,
I don't really care. I don't want to do this.
Not vice president. Not me. Yeah. That's doing a function. You're just not doing it right. Well, your best does doing it next year.
Are you gonna rule with someone or rule like any other nice leader?
Oh my God.
Are you be nice or mean?
I want to bring a
On a
fan
scale of
next
1 to Joe Biden.
I'll just be Nora. So we're starting with or without.
That would be so funny. We want different juice, so we're gonna storm the Capitol.
Stage your role.
Oh,
Maybe.
Alright, let's start. Everyone shut up. I'm not a nice teacher. I'm not a Miss Hurst, guys. I'm sorry. Okay. Alright. I'm not her. I'm not nice.
Oh,
You've got to
Like
do
never
it
heard.
shutty.
Oh, I remember. Shutty.
Oh, round up in the 6th grade.
No.
Yeah, yes.
No.
I
It's
have a
shutty.
question.
Roundup causes.
Am I the only one who wasn't in NHD?
Oh, we'll get to that. Alright, everyone. Shutty. Shutty. Shutty.
Shutty?
Shutty. Like,
What? What's your name again?
Like,
Sam.
super good.
oh my God. Guys, limited time. I have a game at the end if you want to get
It's
to it.
3 hours.
Shutty.
Yeah,
shut up.
Shutty. Yeah, and the stuff we're doing is 2.5. So, if you want the game, you have to shut it. Okay. Welcome to the 2023 NHD season. Yes, there's napkins. Use the napkins. Pass the napkins to him so he doesn't make a mess. Shutty! And I would like to make a special note, directed to Miss Hurst.
Yes.
This is not middle school. We are more chaotic.
Oh, I love
I'm
it.
sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not.
I'm not either. I allow it.
Sorry.
Now, shutty for real. Okay.
Chill.
Welcome to the 2023 NHD season. Before I begin, I would like to acknowledge some of the people in the club. So, congratulations to everyone that was in the club. So, you two. And you. And you. And you. For making it to state and being at least an alternate to nationals. Everyone got at least third place at state. Very cool. Very cool. I would also like to acknowledge, actually, if everyone will study, I would also like to acknowledge Sanjeev and Nate for making it to nationals. And I would like to acknowledge Nate for his documentary being featured in the Museum of African American History and Culture.
I think it's this.
You're supposed to clap. You're supposed to. Yeah, featured in the museum showcase. Yes. You didn't even clap.
I'm gonna get progressively worse towards Nate.
And lastly, I would like to congratulate Nate also for getting 2 interviews, one with Caloland and one with Argus Leader.
Wait, actually?
What?
Okay.
Everything.
We got problems.
I want to search this
What
up.
is the interview you about?
NHD?
Let me put my hair up. Don't look at my sweatpants.
Oh yeah, when he 4 hours, he literally admitted that he panicked during his interview. And so
I mean,
Not in 24
Yeah,
hours.
24 hours. You did not give yourself enough credit,
24
Ken.
hours.
I still can't believe he got an interview. Bro, what the What?
You need a documentary in a day? What?
Basically.
Hardly. Like, yeah.
Anyways, okay, shutty. We gotta get moving. Okay. So, the notebooks that I handed out, everyone has one, right? Except for Nate, because he's special or whatever.
What kind of special?
I won't specify. I expect everyone to bring those to every meeting and a writing utensil.
Uh-oh.
Because there will be notes. And I will say, notes are optional.
Oh.
But I do suggest taking notes. Because if you forget notes and you want to go back to the information I told you, it's gonna be like 3-hour meetings that you have to go through on the YouTube. I said that like an old person on the YouTube.
Can't you just like close the slideshow
On the
or something?
interweb.
I'll send out the slideshow too. However,
I mean, I can just use their notes.
however, there are things that will be said orally. So
What?
I suggest taking. Don't Sanjeev.
Wait, what?
Anyways,
Wait, no, I'm confused. I didn't hear what you
anyways,
said.
shutty, all of you, including you, Vice President. Okay. I suggest taking notes. I was just trying to get at that. Should have been 5 seconds, turned into like a minute. Okay. So our theme this year is Frontiers in History. People, places, ideas, which is really broad, which is nice, because you can basically do anything and then bullcrap your way to how it fits to the theme. Yeah, which is nice. It's very broad. It's way more broad than last year was. Okay. Our coordinator this year, which I'm so happy about because last year was so disorganized. Miss Sandy Hurst.
Is that because you just egg on it last year?
Yeah, and she didn't fully understand what she was doing, so then it was just me, basically. So now I don't need
also
to.
the club quit, you know.
Yeah, so I don't need to register us this year fully at least, which is nice. I don't need to do everything. Which is nice. So yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And she did specify to me that if you are used to calling her Mrs. Hurst, she's okay with that, but you can also call her by her first name, Sandy or Sandra.
That's it.
Sandra only when I'm in trouble.
There you go. If she makes you mad, you can call her Sandra. Okay? Okay, and then student leaders, I'm hoping you all know us, but I'm the main student leader, Nora, and then this is Sammy, who will be taking over for me next year when I graduate.
Yeah, don't
What
graduate.
year is she?
She's a sophomore.
Okay, like an entering sophomore?
Yeah.
Okay.
So really, I should be.
No, she's also a rising senior, and we're both graduating.
She
No,
could have
you
been
should
going
be
in.
late.
She could have been a sophomore going into junior year.
But yeah, but you can always pass
My
it.
email signature still
Whatever,
says
I don't care.
10th grade.
Okay,
Nate became president, we would just be listening to words.
Shuddy,
Yeah.
Shuddy,
I don't want to shut
bat. Anyway.
that.
There's an election I was voting for. Just saying.
Where's the bat?
Okay, so regionals and state dates have not been posted. They won't be for a while. It takes a few months, but I will say, regionals is usually towards the beginning of March, usually on Thursday. So it'll probably be the first Thursday of March. And
Thursday.
I don't know. That's just how they do it.
They've always chosen
Because there's not much else that goes on the Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be nice if they did a Friday, so we didn't have to go back to school for one day. But and then state is generally the middle of April
Also
And-
Thursday.
on a Wednesday. It's usually the second Wednesday, I think. Yeah, second Wednesday. So look for those dates. Try and keep those areas open. Don't be working on those dates. Well, obviously you can't. But especially even for state, don't work after school or anything.
Wait, when you said it was the first week in April usually?
First week in
Second Wednesday in April.
second Wednesday in April, first Thursday in March, generally. Look at him taking notes. Maybe we should all be doing that.
Well,
Yeah.
I wanted to put it on my calendar.
Oh yes, yes, no.
Can you say it one more time?
So, regionals.
Oh, regional. Sorry. First
April.
Thursday in March. State second Wednesday in April. Yeah.
Might be the third, but generally not.
Second Wednesday.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Who's that?
Oh! How's it going? You're the chair. LATD lift.
Andrew.
And a pen.
Almost got it.
Choose your pen.
Okay.
Bring your ink.
I'm not gonna recap because we don't have time.
My guy.
Andrew. Shuddy. Okay.
This guy here.
I'm not gonna recap because we don't have time, but this is gonna be posted on the YouTube and then posted on the Remind. So either you can copy his or you can go through the first few minutes of the YouTube video. Okay.
Just write it down so you have it. I'm sorry, copy.
Okay, and then based on like patterns as well, nationals will probably be June 11th, which is a Sunday, to June 15th, which is a Thursday. We might have to go a day earlier or stay a day later or whatever, depending on flights and how much we want to do there and how much money we fundraise. So, you want to write that down, Sarah?
Oh, I did.
Oh, you did? Okay, I'm just making sure that you got it. Hoping the microphone is picking up my voice and not everyone else's. Okay, moving on. We kind of all know each other, and this was more for people that we don't know, but we're gonna do it anyway. And we might do it again at the end if we get new people. So we're gonna do an icebreaker. This was gonna be more fun with more people because it's like really stupid, but okay. So basically, if I were to start, I would say my name and then an animal with a letter that like, first letter is the same letter as my first letter of my name. So like Nora Narwhal. And then someone, if I start, someone next to me has to end. So let's say Sammy is ending. Abby's already confused.
I'm so confused.
No, because
This
instead of an
game is
animal,
just dumb
and
because it
then
doesn't
Sammy.
count.
I thought you'd say Sammy and then
Why,
an
it's just
animal that's
an
right. No.
Okay, shuddy. So let's say Sammy's ending. I'm not gonna give her an animal, but she says Sammy and then like the animal. But if she's ending, she has to say everyone before her first. So who's brave enough to end? Who thinks that they can
Not
get
me.
everyone?
I thought you were pointing to me.
Alright,
No.
Sam.
I was gonna count
That
it.
means either Sammy or Nate has to
Nate, you
start.
start.
Okay. Go ahead.
What do I do?
your name and then an animal with the like same letter that starts. So like Nora Narwhal. Don't steal mine. Actually, you can
Yeah,
steal
that's
mine.
why I'm trying. Oh,
No.
Narwhal was the first thing. Come on, Nora.
I have another one in mind. You can do Narwhal. Do Narwhal.
No, I'm good.
If you do my other one, I'm gonna laugh so hard.
You can't even say these.
Well, I'm trying to figure out which one's the best.
Daniel the Neanderthal.
Let's. I mean, is that really an animal though?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, Nate Numbat.
Wait, Nate, what?
Numbat.
Numbat?
Yeah, Numbat.
Dumbbat or
No.
Numbat? Okay.
Like the Linkin Park song.
Okay, cool. Andrew, make sure you say Nate's first, and then go. You're next.
Nate, Numbat,
Numbat.
Numbat. Can I borrow that?
Okay, I see the kind of IQ we have here.
Andrew.
Oh,
Alligator.
okay. Andrew, alligator.
It's gonna be like
It's like
5
African
when I
wild
know
dog.
Wild dog.
Alright. Nate, Numbat. Give me a sec.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know it.
You make sure you do Andrew's
Nate.
first, too.
Yeah, okay. Nate, Numbat, Andrew, Alligator, Sanjeev.
Starfish.
I hate starfish.
You're a star.
How do I kill the
I
starfish?
volunteer at a conservatorium, okay? I get tired of those things. No. No. Sperm whale.
What?
Why that one? What? Because sperm whale.
Sperm whale.
Why are you laughing? It's
Oh,
not
okay.
funny.
Wait, I need to write this down. Sanjeev sperm whale.
Sandy salamander.
Old.
Nate Numbat, Andrew Alligator, Sanjeev Whale.
Yo, bro, why does that do that?
Why am all the names? Cause you don't know. Okay,
Stop.
Sandy. Oh my Jesus. Salamander and then
Whoa.
I can't stop. Okay, Captain Crab.
Oh, I got this, guys.
Wait, I didn't hear.
Giraffe.
Giraffe, okay.
Okay. We have Nate Numbat, Numbat, Andrew Alligator, Sanjeev sperm whale, Sandy salamander, Gabby giraffe. Shoot. What did you tell me to say again? Okay. Abby anteater. I forgot.
Nate Numbat, Andrew Alligator, Sandy Sperm Whale, Sandy Salamander, Gabby Giraffe, Abby Anteater, Kennedy Koala.
Okay. Good job. Nora, or wait, no, that is not Nate's name. It wasn't the group chat. Okay. Shuddy. Nate Numback. What even kind of animal is that? Is that like a mammal?
I don't know. Just don't.
Is it like that one Pokemon?
That.
This is
Is
good.
it like that one Pokemon?
Oh, you
If it's a Pokemon, I'm gonna laugh so hard.
Wait.
They pulled up a city.
Wait a minute. Do them back animal.
I think they're.
Okay, I'm gonna go
Maybe he's
on.
Numbat.
Andrew Alligator, Sanjeev Sperm Whale, Sandy Salamander, Gabby Giraffe, Abby Anteater, Kennedy Koala, Nora Narwhal. I don't even remember the first one.
Of course it's Narwhal.
Where?
Right there, top left one.
I felt like it was necessary to say that.
It looks like a.
I said Numbat.
Is it my turn?
No, it's Sam's turn.
Nate Numbat, Andrew, like, what was it?
Like, is it an animal?
The other version of crocodile.
Loading.
Come on, say it correctly. Come on. I'm waiting.
You have to say it with a straight face.
Uh,
I'm not.
what are you looking
Not gonna
for?
So stale because
Anyone looks at Sammy and she freaks out. You have to like, she's like a tiger. Like you can't look her in the eyes. You have to look at like her neck.
My eyes kind of hurt.
I'm gonna look into your
But I'm
soul.
not gonna stop.
Come on. Say it.
Okay, she's still on you.
Don't look at me like
Did you
that.
forget his name?
I don't. San give, sperm whale.
Sam give or Sam get?
But I San got your name.
Oh, moles. Did you get my animal?
Sandy, I don't know what animal it was.
Wait, did you get his
Salamander.
animal? Did you get his animal?
She did. Yeah.
You did? Okay, I wasn't listening.
Once I
covered up his face, yeah.
Remember?
It's okay. It's got a really long neck. My name starts with a G. Eats in Africa off the tops of trees.
Oh, I saw one of these licking a pole at
Giraffe!
Great Plains.
Giraffe!
Do you know? Did you get her name?
What?
Did you get her name?
Gabby! Yeah, I know you.
That can be
Abby.
Just to make
I
sure.
forgot to as
Anteater!
Yeah.
Kennedy, Koala, Nora.
The horn's just gonna be going off
Okay,
in the
wait,
parking lot.
We were talking about
Normal!
That's
Sammy.
Think about it. And
Yeah,
it
it's
elongates.
pretty good range though.
Sam, pay attention.
What?
She's saying hers. You
I
might
don't
want to
even
know.
know.
Oh shoot! What'd you say?
I don't know.
She doesn't know yet. She was just saying pay attention.
I don't know that.
Oh, is it my turn?
No, she's looking it up.
I don't know.
I don't know why this is so hard.
Salamander.
We did this at Girls' Day. It was like 18
Sloth
people and it did
or
not
something.
take this long.
Salamander.
Sorry.
Snail. Yeah.
Okay, ready? Nathaniel and Numbat.
Nathaniel.
Is that not your name?
Nathaniel.
I go by Nate.
That was way more fancy than it needed to be.
Andrew the alligator, Sandy the sperm whale, Sandy the salamander, Gabby the giraffe, Abby the anteater, Kennedy the koala, Nora the narwhal, Sammy the sloth, or did you pick snail?
No.
You suggested it.
I know, I said sloth and snail. I can't remember which one you picked though. Snail. And then Sam the dog.
Alright, I'll take it. We gotta move on. Alright, Shoddy!
No, look.
Shoddy!
Y'all starts with the S according to Google.
Shoddy!
Okay.
Right there. Yep.
Shotty.
Got it.
Shot you face.
Shoddy?
I'm gonna ignore that. Okay, now for the boring part.
We don't have to do this, right?
No, we have
Oh
to do
my goodness. Are we going through that entire thing?
this.
All 60 pages?
No, I will be reading
Sorry,
some
that
of
was
it.
that
Should I read the first page? What
Like
is
4
National
font
History
Arial?
Day?
No.
I think we all know.
I'll skip it then. Okay. I would highly suggest taking notes during this.
Oh crap.
So basically, this is when we get into our theme analysis portion. This is gonna help get your like mind gears turning for any topics you want to do. What?
I need different colored pens.
You can buy your own. Okay.
You can go to Walgreens.
Okay, shuddy. We're way behind right now. Okay.
Paper with these folds.
So, basically, this is going to be about a half an hour of me reading, and we're going to have many discussions in between. So try and pay attention as best as you can. Though I know we have some, mind wanderers over there. Yeah. Okay.
We have neighbors.
Okay. Places as frontiers. A frontier may be geographical, an area thought to be on the edge of a settlement. Various dictionaries refer to a physical frontier as a wilderness at the edge of a settled area or uncharted territory. The first might be a remote land beyond the boundaries of an area or country and considered uninhabited. The idea of uncharted territory could be land that is not plotted on a map and therefore unknown. This begs the question, uncharted or uninhabited by who? Various topics that come to mind are those related to the classic frontier of popular culture. The 19th century American West filled with cowboys, outlaws, sheriffs, Native Americans, pioneers, and farmers. Let's break down this idea, guys. Okay. As the 19th century progressed, Americans pushed the geographical boundaries of what they perceived as the frontier farther and farther west. Journalists, poets, novelists, politicians, and even historians describe the frontier as unsettled land there for the taking, urging white settlers to, quote, go west, young man. What about the native or tribal nations who inhabited the land?
Oh.
Did they consider the land they called home an uninhabited wilderness?
Nope.
No.
And then they got forced on reservations.
Good thinking. I really like that thought, but we're not at the discussion part yet.
Aw.
Ah, shut.
You stupid.
Okay.
I'm proud of you.
Also, if I stutter in my words, don't blame me. I was in the heat gardening for 3 hours this morning. Okay, feel bad for me.
I was
Dang, bro, that's crazy.
But you were in the
It was hot,
You were in the
and there was a lot of
Okay,
weeds.
it's still good.
Okay.
It's still hot.
And it's like a 40 by 15 garden. Anyway, shutty. Students interested in exploring the American frontier and its impact might research the significance of European settlement. What was the effect of their efforts to push the frontier farther westward? Students might consider the impact westward expansion had on other groups of people. What was the experience of women versus that of men? How did this experience affect the settlers or indigenous peoples in Nebraska, New Mexico, the Dakotas, or, I always say this like Oregon, right? I said that right?
Oregon. It's Oregon.
Oregon. I always say
Don't
it.
people from Oregon just
Oregon.
call it Oregon, though?
They call it Oregon.
Oh, Oregon.
I thought it was Oregon.
It's
Like
Oregon.
people from Nevada
It
call it
looks like
Nevada
Oregon,
and
so
not
we're talking
Nevada.
about
It's
Oregon.
Oregon's
It's
Oregon.
Oregon.
It's Oregon.
Okay, I did not need to start a very important debate about this, so shut up.
Guys,
It is not Oregon.
Stop. A performance might explore a woman's experiences during the gold rushes in California or Alaska, or what they don't mention, the Black Hills. That's a local topic. Do? What role did fur traders or missionaries play in settling the West? Sam, you're not gonna get second again like this.
Ooh, okay.
I'm joking. But
But
please
please
don't.
for the record, I already had my topic. We're talking about fonts.
Okay, but for the record, other people don't. So,
Okay,
shut
but
it.
we're talking about fonts over here. The rest
You
of
guys
us
are paying attention.
What?
Nora.
I have like 5 possible.
Talk telepathy. I already have
Okay.
That doesn't mean texting though. Okay. How did technology change the landscape and the lives of those who lived in the West? How was barbed wire a frontier, and how did it alter the western frontier and encourage settlement? I'm so tired. When did the American frontier officially close? How did Americans deal with this intellectually and culturally? Who was Frederick Jackson Turner, and what was his frontier thesis? What impact did it have on intellectual and historical thought? As we march toward the 250th anniversary of American independence in 2026, students might focus on topics related to the fight for independence in the ever-moving western frontier. A performance might analyze the French and Indian War, the Proclamation Line of 1763, or the Northwest Ordinance of 1787. How were thoughts of freedom and democracy frontiers and political thought? How did these new ideas spark a revolution? How did Native nations view these ideas? Students interested in this idea might develop a website that analyzes European settlements from the perspective, I'm going to butcher this, all of these, of the Pequots, right? Pequots? Mohegans?
Yep.
Let's go. Dutch fur traders or the English settlers in the Connecticut River Valley during the 1600s, guys. Another geographical definition of a frontier, is the formal border between two countries or societies, particularly when they are hostile. Students might examine the role that borders have played in specific conflicts between countries, or how borders have kept people apart willingly or not. People and countries often build walls to protect themselves. Students can create an exhibit to focus on the Great Wall of China, which the Qin.
Sheen. It's weird. Yeah.
That's not how it's interesting.
Oh wait, yeah, Keen.
Qin.
Yeah.
Okay, Qin. Okay. Qin dynasty completed in the early 200s BC. Was it built as a defense? Why and against whom? Did it protect the dynasty? Why or why not? Defensive walls typically surrounded medieval European cities. Why did ancient... Oh, burp. Oh, God. Not drinking that juice anymore. Why did ancient Romans build Hadrian's Wall in 2nd century England? What were the consequences? The Soviet Union constructed the Berlin Wall in the 1960s. Was it built to keep people in or keep them out? I hope you all know the answer. What effect did this wall have on the world, on politics, on individuals or families? With or without walls, borders, or frontiers have caused many conflicts and have had unintended consequences. Colonization and conquest created many frontiers that often resulted in cross-cultural exchanges. After the Han conquest of
This one I'm not gonna. Gahosian.
I'll spell it for you guys if you're taking notes. Gojoseon, aka present-day North Korea or Manchuria. In 100 BC, Koreans adopted Chinese ideas about government, writing, and farming. So like Confucianism. Much of Spain became a frontier of the Islamic world in the early 8th century. A paper could evaluate Moorish contributions to Spanish civilization. Often, victors adopted practices and even gods from the vanquished, as the Aztecs did in Mexico in the 1400s. Disputes over which nation should control Bosnia. Yep. Say it again.
Herzegovina.
Herzegovina. Okay, cool. I would not have gotten that correct. Contributed to World War I. A documentary might analyze the struggle over that country's border and control over the country during the 20th century. Did the war for Bosnian independence in the 1990s resolve this conflict? What? I didn't do anything, I promise. Where to go? I'm listening. You start randomly laughing or is there a reason? There's something I need to know. There's a popsicle. What?
Not that big.
Wait, Nora,
Oh.
talk.
Huh?
Can you talk?
I'm sorry.
Like, talk, please.
No, we were talking about the bonds.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Anyways, disputes on the frontiers between communist and capitalist countries, including the Korean War and the Vietnam War, marked much of the second half of the 20th century. Poland's history is characterized by its ever-changing borders. How did these changes affect the Polish people? This is where we start a discussion. Okay, so here, boys, study.
We're reading along, you know,
Yep.
we
To
were
absorb
absorbing more
more
information.
Okay, that's fine, but do you need to talk to do that though?
Yes.
Well, we were trying to figure out where you were without distracting the rest of the class.
I'm right before ideas with frontiers.
Yes, we found that.
Okay, cool. So right now, just as a reminder, we're on places as frontiers. So, can anybody think of any other instances in history that were discussed here that could serve as an appropriate topic for places as frontiers for this year?
So it might sound stupid, but World War I, a new frontier of violence, because new weapons and stuff were
That's
made.
not a place.
We're talking about places as frontiers, but I know it's good though. It's good though.
I love it.
It's
It's not
good
places.
though. It's good though, especially if you're talking about weaponry. But let's focus on places as ideas right now.
Yeah.
Get all the
Places as frontiers.
Ooh, Antarctica.
Oh, that's a good frontier, though.
Explain.
It's like people were exploring Antarctica, you know? The exploration of Antarctica.
Because there wasn't anybody there, and then they explored it.
Uh-huh.
You could also
And that is the
talk.
place.
I was also thinking more about like how people fight for the oil there. Would be good. There's a lot of oil there. That's why people fight to like own it, and that's why there was an agreement that no one would own Antarctica.
Oh.
Because of the oil. So that'd be really good too if you talk about like the agreement and the oil stuff. That would actually be a good topic. Anything else?
You could even take a look at national parks and how they came about.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the first national parks would be cool because those were incorporated by by our very own Teddy.
Yep.
Nora?
Yes.
So earlier when you were trying to pronounce the Qin dynasty, it is actually Qin, not Kin.
They
According to Google.
shorten it.
Yeah. What?
They shorten it.
What?
It-
They shortened the word Qin?
Yeah.
No, the pronunciation, there are various
Okay. Here
Are
we
you
go.
gonna trust everything that Google says? If Google told you to jump off the bridge.
Shuddy!
Interstate.
Sorry, I was just trying to inform the class.
Shuddy! Sam's trying to talk. Explain.
Cause like then people could get places quicker, and that's a frontier.
The Interstate Act of what?
The Federal Highway Act. Yeah.
Okay.
I really do a topic idea. The United States going in and annexing Hawaii into the United States.
Yeah.
Topic snatcher.
You didn't even
The
tell me about
Gadsden
it.
purchase. I don't know.
Yep, Gadsden purchase.
That would count?
Anything with
Wow.
westward expansion.
Ooh. Okay.
Homestead Act.
Could it be
Would be
eastward?
good. What?
The Louisiana Purchase.
Louisiana purchase would be good, but overdone. You'd probably want to narrow down a little bit on that.
Indian conquest of free love.
And I'm telling everyone right now, we were talking about this in last year's group chat. No one, and this isn't about places as frontiers, just frontiers in general. If anyone tries to do Roe versus Wade, I will strangle you.
Wait,
Oh, I'll do that.
It's like
Nah.
Wait, what?
Don't do it.
Well, I know what it is. I'm saying when was that?
it's a long
When
time ago.
was
Don't
it?
lie. What?
I'm just curious. I don't know when it was.
I don't know either.
It was like
1970s.
Roe versus Wade, right?
No,
Saying-
it's when it was
Is there-
1970s.
Is there a limit to how
Why
racing it can be?
Okay,
Oh, I thought it was
a good question from Sam. Shuddy,
I thought that was
this
in the rule book, but I can't remember.
something you probably want to know. Okay, so, no, do not engage. Do not talk. Stop.
He is
Okay,
not your leader.
Sam's question
They're gonna come in and
was.
ask us to be quieter, so let's.
Okay, Sam's question was: is there any limit to how recent a topic can be? So, basically, not technically, but it's better if you aim for at least 50 years ago, and it's better if you aim to not do anything ancient. Okay, but there's like exceptions because there was an ancient Chinese topic that won once,
What about the Ukraine?
and there's like
That was the last 2 years, right?
Too recent.
That's too recent.
You see, what you need to make sure you're showing is an impact of it, and you wouldn't have the impact of those things yet.
I think Russia now has the strongest economy in the world.
but there
Or both looks.
there are exceptions though to the
I mean,
recent
it was,
thing too.
yeah.
Like you want to aim for about 50 years ago, but like I'm pretty sure 9/11 topics have won before,
Well, yeah.
so there are exceptions.
I'm pretty sure all of my topics are made fun.
Well, that's okay. It's just like if you're able to show an impact, like 9/11, you could show an impact with like the changes and
Oh yeah.
regulations and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, I was just going like, yeah.
In that case, I want to do.
Okay, one last thing for the discussion. So please shut it.
Okay, guys, listen.
This is the idea I wrote down for places as frontiers. So like Russian czars. So like if you think of like Peter the Great's dynasty, for example, he really focused on gaining. I think it was Peter the Great focused on gaining a lot of territory in Russia, and that's actually what led to a lot of the conflicts between Russia and like the Baltic states now, and like Ukraine and stuff like that. So if you talk about like Russian czars and how they try to gain territory in Russia, that would also be a good topic for frontiers. Okay, ideas as frontiers. This is a little bit less of reading, but not a whole lot.
Is it discussion time or do you have to talk?
Discussion time is
Yeah, we'll get to another discussion. Okay. Of course, students are not limited to geographical frontiers. Another definition of frontier is an undeveloped field of study. In this case, the term frontier may signify the limits of knowledge or achievement in a particular area or subject. These frontiers change over time. A frontier for one generation may be a commonplace for succeeding generations. Students might explore the work of individuals who have thought of new ways of organizing human life politically, economically, religiously, or socially, and assess the impact of these new ideas. Perhaps scientific or technological innovations will capture students' attention. Frontiers are crossed by those who challenge conventional thinking. African American entrepreneurs built thriving economic communities in Durham, North Carolina, and Tulsa, Oklahoma. Booker T. Washington organized the National Negro Business League to provide networking and economic opportunities to grow and expand Black-owned businesses. W.E.B. Du Bois. See, I always butcher that one.
Oh, I love that guy.
Argued that economic achievement would not end segregation and advocated for social change through active forms of protest. People have striven to push frontier boundaries in science, technology, medicine, transportation, economics, media, law, justice, and art. The realm of human ideas and achievements abounds with potential topics. Scientific and technological frontiers might be of interest. How did Marie Curie's research on radioactivity in the early 1900s represent a frontier? A student might write a paper that assesses the significance of the mathematician. I have no idea.
Wait, does he?
blanked
Does he?
out on it.
Let's see.
How are these?
Algebra in the 800s?
Where does it say it?
Oh. Al-Khwarizmi's.
That dude.
Yes.
Pioneering work in algebra in the 800s. A group of students might construct an exhibit that examines the development of the steam engine as a frontier in technology. I personally think this next one would be a really good idea if you can narrow it down a little bit. The transformation of industry created by Henry Ford's assembly line could be the subject of a performance. That would be good. Or a student could build a website to examine the life and work of physicist Albert Einstein and his pioneering theories and inventions. What were the consequences of these new innovations? How have frontiers in medical research and discovery affected human society? In the 20th century, medical teams pioneered the process of transplanting organs. These complex medical procedures helped extend the lives of people suffering from various ailments. How are these frontiers crossed? What innovations were needed to help these patients after their successful transplants? What systems matched patients when donor organs became available? Were these systems fair and equitable to all patients? A student can write a paper and explain this frontier and its impact on science and society. Space is referred to by many as the final frontier. How has the space race influenced politics, culture, or education? Students might produce a website that examines the race to explore this frontier and its impact on the Cold War and vice versa. While some of humanity's greatest minds have devoted themselves to technological and scientific experimentation, others have devised ways to improve business or national economies. European merchants created banks to make trading easier, while early stock exchanges represented a frontier in capitalism. Students could examine the Saibatsu, the huge interrelated corporations that began to dominate Japan's economy in the late 1800s. How might corporations be defined as business frontiers? A student paper could explore the path-breaking work Wealth of Nations, in which Adam Smith denounced the mercantilism which then prevailed and called for free trade. Oh wow, alright. Getting excited. Or students might consider how Marxism was a frontier in economic organization and the impact this ideological frontier had on the world. Okay, so they don't really have a section for people as frontiers, so I kind of drew a line there for it, but it's a thin line. But, okay, ideas as frontiers. Any ideas similar to the discussion before?
Oh my gosh.
I actually really like that idea, like the Marshall Plan. That would be cool. It might be overdone, but it would be cool.
Or dynamite.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm thinking like Civil War medicine, because that was really what people were starting to do, like amputations and stuff like that. They talk about how they started like developing that and like what they used to treat infections. Also, from World War II, I'm thinking tampons, because like, I'm thinking about it, maybe for like I just thought it would be a cool
I honestly
idea.
think that's a good idea.
Just because that was a new frontier for like women's health and stuff. I don't know.
And I'm just thinking about you walking into long-term impacts and be like, there's a tampon shortage right now. That'd be funny.
There is.
And then there's gonna be like
That would
Nate,
be a
like,
great
what's a
idea.
tampon?
Wait, what? I don't know what that says.
Oh my god.
So Gabby was like, it'd be cool to do something about like tampons being a frontier and like women's health and stuff. Then I was like, oh, then there's guys like Nate that don't even know what a tampon is.
And I was gonna say I wouldn't want to do it. I probably wouldn't recommend an exhibit for that one.
A documentary?
Don't do performance.
A diagram, this is how you insert a tampon.
I don't think he knows that.
I saw this one. This is totally off topic, but I saw this one video
How you use
of this
it.
girl showing his boyfriend how to put a tampon in. And he's like, it just goes in like that? That's so cool.
He probably doesn't know where it goes.
What?
Do it.
I would. No.
Just let it be. Just let it be.
just
No,
talk about
but it would be funny.
It'd be
Like at the
hilarious.
very
actually.
end,
The
this
judges would
girl
see
is
what
like
was
putting a
happening.
tape on it, and she's like, "Yeah, that works well." And then at the end, you're like, "Frontiers in history."
She's like, no more diseases for me.
Except for yeast infection.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Except for yeast infection. Long-term impact. Yeah, how are we doing on time? Alright, let's go. Any other discussion material? Any other ideas?
Yeah, but you made my day.
We kind of already talked about that, but yeah.
Communism.
Just a second. Ideas as frontiers, like the best thing you could do, because they can literally tie to almost anything. Okay, well.
Cybersecurity.
Cybersecurity.
Cryptocurrency.
No! That's a little reason.
Yeah, no, I'm not bad.
Also,
Stock market.
NFT.
Stock market.
Oh, it's the pioneer.
Okay, fine. I'm literally in the right.
So you do a performance where you auction off an image.
No, I popped off about cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Look, okay, I said stock market. Okay, are you guys happy now?
Frontiers in histoy. Oh my god, wait, this would actually be cool. This is related to debate.
And
When the importance of Turkey and NATO.
No!
Because he's the only I just made Turkey a he. Anyways, Turkey is the only NATO state in the Middle East. That would actually be a good topic.
Wait,
Wait,
I know
Turkey?
that's
I
I
also
wanna
like
talk
podcast.
about
I had no idea.
If I have to say Erwin out of my mouth again.
I mean, if any other debate kids are doing NHD, I can almost guarantee that's going to be a topic from someone else, but probably not from that many people. So,
Actually, no, we're gonna stay.
if you want to do more research on Turkey,
No, I've already got too much. I know way too much about this.
if anyone else wanted to do that topic though, that would be really cool. There's a lot of history with Turkey and NATO.
I'm gonna stick with camp. We're gonna do
Another
Okay.
one would be like child labor laws.
That'd be cool.
What is it? It says 19.
All right, shuddy. I'm gonna quick add mine. This was gonna be shuddy. That includes you. I love you, but shut up.
Damn.
Okay. This was my topic from last year that I didn't actually end up doing because I was doing debate and then that didn't work. But first Earth Day, I'm not doing that this year, so you guys are free to take it. Why actually you? I don't know. But basically, like the first Earth Day was like the first big environmentalist movement. So that's like another example. Or like literally anything from the counterculture movement in the 70s would work.
Oh,
I wouldn't do the Vietnam War like peace protests. So that might be overdone, but yeah.
racism in basketball.
Sure. I mean, I don't have any like yes or no opinion on that, but I mean, sure. I would be a little more specific.
The
But
Santa oil spill. Wait, no. Sorry, no. That's not even close to it.
I mean, like related to his kind of like.
Santa
You just
something.
like spill oil one Christmas night or what?
No. Okay, I can't remember the name of the city. Never mind.
okay, all right, let's move on. We're almost done with this section, guys. I know it's boring, but please shut it. Okay, people as frontiers. So it may not make sense because I'm the one that named this, but politics has also drawn its share of people willing to imagine new ways of doing things. How did the reforms of
Yes, the knees.
in 508 BC paved the way for Athenian democracy? A documentary might focus on the founding of the Iroquois Confederacy when the Mohawk Oneida. I definitely don't know this one.
I thought it was Anita.
Cayuga?
Yeah, Cayuga.
Yeah, and Seneca. It is Seneca, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And soon after the.
Tuscarora.
Alright, renounced their traditional hostility to one another and unified. Thank God for Miss Hurst. How was this a frontier in political cooperation? Freedom fighters such as Simón Bolívar, who led the 19th century independence movements in South America, might be analyzed in an exhibit, while a documentary could assess how the New Deal of the 1930s represented a frontier in American politics. Students may find inspiration in the stories of those who have challenged traditional boundaries of race, class, and gender. In what ways could the 19th century women's suffrage movement and the 20th century civil rights movement be considered frontiers in U.S. history? Gandhi's efforts to end discrimination in India during the 1930s and 40s would make a good topic for a performance.
India.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, representation!
You know what I mean.
Roll.
R.
Okay,
Okay.
Nate, no. Okay, how can his efforts be defined as a frontier in political and social thought? What impact did his ideas have on India on the world? Many reformers who fought to improve their societies drew strength from religion. The establishment of just about any religion is a frontier, as are many reform movements within religions. A paper might focus on the ancient Persian thinker Zoroaster.
Zoroastrianism? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, weren't they the ones that made weren't is that who made Zoroastrianism or whatever? Or like, yeah. Whose beliefs in monotheism, judgment day, and the existence of heaven and hell are thought by many to have influenced Christianity and Islam. Methodisms? Yeah, I thought so. Origins as a reform movement in the Church of England in the 18th century could be the subject of a website. How are those or other religious movements considered frontiers or departures from established religion or thought? Sumerian? Yep. Invention of
Uniform?
cuneiform.
Queen form.
Cuneiform.
That's my
Corn.
favorite type of form.
Writing around 3000 BC represented a colossal advance in human culture. How did the ancient Greeks contribute to cultural frontiers in drama and architecture? In the early 1900s, Pablo Picasso and others created a new view of reality with Cubist art, a suitable topic for an exhibit, while a documentary could trace the development of jazz as a frontier in modern music. What were the origins of jazz? What role did New Orleans play in its development? I love New Orleans so much. I'm going there for my 21st.
Nice.
Okay. Yes. Anyways, discussion time. Last discussion.
Yes.
About what?
My sister
Any of
likes
those
People
people.
and as frontiers.
Hannibal Barca.
Explain. I don't know who that is.
The
And
General
Conclusion.
of Punic Wars. It's really good.
Oh, well, you're already doing Punic Wars, so yeah.
Well, no, I
It'd
think
be
it's
cool
gonna
to
be
do,
nukes
like,
instead.
Women who like
What are
did
the
something
Punic
like in music and stuff.
You don't know
Like,
what
they are?
Like women who like
I'm not a history
like
nerd,
did
I
something in
just
music,
I
like
can
just
basically
like
explain it.
anything like
So
Ella
you were
Fitzgerald or Aretha Franklin or something like
Yeah,
that.
and also like last year's topic for you, Susan B. Anthony, as
the
well.
airplane
For
song,
yeah,
like,
any of that.
research on-
I mean,
Can I just do it again?
you
Or-
can't. That's against the
I
rules.
know.
Didn't she
Super
like crush
But she's
herself?
freaking racist.
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
Wait till you hear about Mother
Who's being racist here?
Pigeon Girl.
So
Okay,
it's an
so
old
apparently there's Sally Ride.
She's
The first
racist.
woman
Yeah.
who
Oh, yeah,
was
that's right.
famous.
Just like
Oh, yeah. Wait,
Abraham
study.
Lincoln.
So, like,
One discussion.
president.
One
He
group
got
discussion.
to their
One
knees.
group
It's
discussion.
insane.
Not all of us, and then Sam
Went
and Nate.
to Rome, got them
Gentlemen,
underneath.
Nate.
stop.
Kneel down.
One group discussion. Okay. You want to repeat what you said, Kennedy?
Dr. Sally Ride. She was the first American woman who went to space. She was also a queer woman.
Sam was like a fact checker. Fact checker.
First person on board.
What?
He goes like true.
I wish.
That's
That's
true.
Henrietta Lacks. I love her so much.
I don't know who that is.
First person to die in space.
You just crushed
Well,
a
that
lot
makes
of
sense.
people don't.
Who is it?
She's
First
she's
person to
practically
die.
immortal. And
That doesn't help.
Because her cells were
Yeah.
used, helo cells, they
I
were
wouldn't
used
say
in
that.
a lot of scientific advancements.
she found she was
Cool.
her cells were used to find the cure to polio.
Oh, that's
They
cool.
were stolen.
They were stolen.
They were stolen. They were literally stolen, and her family didn't get acknowledged for years.
We can
Yeah.
also talk like groups
Because
of
racism.
people as
It's
well.
like 2 hours.
Like what I had down was a group of people. So the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League during World War II.
Oh, so
That's what
I
I'm.
watched a movie about that once.
League of Their Own.
Yep, that's
Yep.
what it's called.
You're gonna lose. There's no crying in baseball. I love that movie. Anyways, I'm probably doing that topic, so you're not allowed to do that.
That's
just
so
an example.
such a cool topic.
Would like groups of protesters count in like a people
Do it
as
just to
frontiers like
make her
protesting
mad.
for Vietnam War
Can
and
I
stuff?
win?
Yeah, like
Just like how
Vietnam
we're
War
gonna do
protests.
Roe
That would
v.
probably
Wade,
be
right?
both an idea and people.
I
Like you
wanted
can
to
combine.
do it last year.
Yeah, you can combine things.
We're
I'm
gonna be
sure,
like
like,
saying
it
you
might
can
be
totally-
overdone, but like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Connected to
Well,
like
we have
current
an idea,
events
but
with like a whole league
that's
Supreme
just
Court
one of the
draft
ideas
thing.
for personal projects.
It'd be
Okay.
cool to do like something about like resistance workers during the Holocaust. I already did that, so I can't do that again. Sadly.
Okay, is everyone comfortable moving on?
If you're struggling with ideas, Minnesota Minnesota Historical Society has a ton of topics in it. So if you just go to mnhs.org, and when I pulled that up, I downloaded, and they have a list that's like really long.
Yeah, and also
Yeah, so there's a bunch there.
the official NHD Discord server generally
Wait,
sends
is
out a
that
topic
actually a
list.
thing?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
wow.
run
Also,
by.
they have a group chat too.
I need to hop on.
How did I not know about
Yeah.
How do they talk
A nationwide NHD group chat.
But I can send out the Discord later
No,
if
that
you
we
guys
have
want.
Shuddy!
Shuddy.
I am.
Shuddy.
Oh,
Shuddy.
that's right, yeah.
Do that.
Shutty.
Yas.
If you guys want the Discord server, I will send it out later. Just ask me. But yeah, they generally send out a list of topics made by other people too, and they're also mostly from Minnesota because Minnesota is a huge NHD state.
They
So.
are. They're tremendous there. And they have a good variety of them. They have some that, so, and they categorize them into different areas too, so you can hop on whatever one you want.
Did anybody from Minnesota win nationals this year?
Yes.
Oh, plenty. I know this
come
one girl
on.
from Minnesota that got second. So, but others won. I just know one of them.
It was like every 2 seconds. And from Minnesota.
My guy.
Yeah.
There are
Minnesota is a
yeah.
huge
There's a lot of people
NHD
from
state.
from Korea too.
Yeah, because they
We
have
like
like
all
places
excellence
there.
state, and then it just like fell apart.
Okay, we're gonna move on
Evals are not good.
because I think the discussion has come to a natural close. So,
You're like, you're garbage, kid.
let me get my thing out. I would get your notebooks out unless you're Nate and you want to be special.
Got to stop saying that.
Yeah.
So-
I feel hurt, honestly.
Good.
Like usual, you know. it's
Everyone
just-
will have 10 minutes to make a list of as many topics as you can think of that would go for this year's theme, and then circle the top 3 topics that are like from your list that you would be interested in. So I'll give you like probably like a minute and a half warning for you to circle, but I'm gonna start the timer now. And try to stray away from things that we already talked about, unless you're
Oh my
interested.
gosh.
And why? What was the point of sharing that?
Unless you're interested in it. If you're interested in it, then go ahead.
I'm just linking out here.
Basically, do topics that you might think, hey,
Yeah,
hey,
just
no
Hey,
cheating.
focus.
Cheating.
Anything you'd be interested in.
Okay.
This is individual, boys. And feel free to look stuff up if you need to, as well.
Most words would work in this, right?
It's up for interpretation.
Wait, what?
Up for interpretation.
If
If
you
you,
wanna narrow it down from a war, I mean,
Oh, to like
Yeah.
a specific instance? Oh, probably.
yeah,
That's good.
yeah, and as long as you can give like a logical explanation for how it ties to the theme, go ahead and write it down.
Muy
You
bien.
can like completely twist the meaning of it if you want to, as long as you can explain it.
What are you guys doing?
okay, gentlemen, focus.
So it's spelled with an H.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Are you okay?
No.
They said it's spelled with an H, which makes me think it's about me.
My sister, her name is Sarah.
And the NHD stands for Nate is always hurting. Others, oh no. Yeah, I don't know. what
She's
you stand
doing
for.
AHD this year. How cool is that?
Yes, you better be joining the club next year. I'm just saying.
Oh, I don't know about that.
She better.
Okay.
You're in the club, so she's obligated.
Oh.
Yeah.
My Aunt Angela died.
I'm like 25. How old are you guys?
Yeah. You didn't know. Individuals. Even
not
if it's funny, individual. Oh yeah, I should probably check the time, huh?
You just like didn't start the timer?
No, I did. We're about halfway done.
Right?
Oh man.
I should do a project on Taylor Swift.
Oh, I think Faith Hill.
I can't focus with.
What? Why are you looking at me?
Uh-oh.
Oh yes.
Yes!
They're not looking at anything inappropriate, right?
We were coming up with topic ideas. I can promise you that.
Okay. The creation of Pornhub. That's all I'm thinking.
That is not what we wrote down.
That's it's like they're laughing so hard.
It's not even that funny, but
It's just.
don't worry.
It's just so dumb.
Oh. Oh no, that's weird.
Can I hear it? What's the idea?
Like the creation of like hard candies like M&Ms for people. Like
Well, M&Ms
Wait,
came
M&Ms are-
about in World War II because
Yeah,
in the
that's what I was
Iraq,
thinking.
yeah.
There.
But like there's not really an impact. Like more candy, I don't know.
Come on.
I did get it. You know, I mean, you could because after World War II they were used to those candies and they
Hey,
had
why you
that
looking at me?
kind of
Yeah.
consumerism.
I mean, you're the
It's
only
something that
person of
went
color
on.
here, so.
Yeah.
Hey, what?
And not something
No,
I would do.
Andrew's white.
Yeah,
I'm
you
white.
sounded really good.
What?
I'm like, wait a minute.
Boys!
Sorry.
Yas.
Individuals!
I don't know. I'm probably gonna
Just
go
am
with
waiting.
this. Just
If you look at Nate's computer one more time, I will slap the living crap out of you.
Do it!
Sam's still eyeballing his computer right now.
Yes.
Are you crying?
No. Why do you think I'm always crying? I'm not crying.
Why do you always go crying? I'm not crying.
I'm
Maybe it's
not.
because during our steak
Okay.
you're like,
Okay.
yeah, but okay.
That's
I mean,
understandable though. That's understandable though.
Sorry, not that,
I mean-
regionals.
Yeah.
Where you were freaking out like the entire time, even though
It's
you know it first.
understandable though.
Bruh.
Thanks.
You're such a smart
Really
person.
gotta
You got
be
this.
calling people
Oh,
out like
Facebook.
that.
Why do I want to talk about plastic surgery so bad? write it down.
You have 10 minutes to make a list. And what's the music notes for?
It's for fun.
Oh, okay. I thought we were
Where is our music?
It's gone. It's been gone.
Because you stopped
For
it.
like a while.
Did you?
Oh.
It finished.
Oh yeah, it's only an hour long.
We've been here for an hour.
Alright, you have a minute and a half ish. I would start circling.
Communism would be a fun.
What?
So communism would be a fun topic.
I can't do bricks. Do what? Bricks? Would that count? The Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa formation. Did I hear that? Yeah. I don't know when it was created, but
You could Google that.
No, you could.
I think it might be like 2000, so I probably shouldn't do it.
If you can like get the impact of it,
What? Yes, with my life. No?
30 seconds. Make sure you're circling
Oh,
or starring or whatever.
Yeah, I think
Top 3, 1 key seconds.
Oh, are we really gonna get our top 3 out of these?
Are you guys doing it together or something?
No, I was trying to
No,
think of
we
one.
are not doing it together.
I hate you. I'm not doing it with you.
I want him to like take me down, you know. Too good.
What?
5 seconds. 5 seconds.
3, right? We circle 3?
yeah.
Try to circle 4.
I should go 6.
You can circle 4 if you absolutely have to. I don't know
circling 4.
why I exited out of this. I did not need to do that. Alright, we're done. We're done. We're done. I'm gonna start. We're just gonna quick read off what we had, and then if you circled the one you just read off, say that. Okay, first Earth Day. And I'm allowed to say mine because mine were like pre-written down, okay? And these are things I was already considering, so I'm allowed to write it down. Okay, first Earth Day, circled it. The All-American Girls Professional Baseball League during World War II, circled that. Russian Tsars, do not circle that. I do not care. The wolf relocation project in the 1990s in Yellowstone. I did circle that.
I've heard
I will
about that.
I will not be doing that though. I really hope one of you do it because I love that. And there's a huge impact of that. Let me tell you, the ecological impact of that is astounding.
Wait, what was
Does
the
it,
topic
is it
again?
spread to like all
They're
that
not
content or?
fun.
Wolf relocation
Other
project
states,
of
yeah.
1990s in
Okay, so
Yellowstone.
they're mainly, yeah.
Okay, I'm not.
And feel free if you want to like write down stuff. Just make sure you're not stealing someone's topic of thinking. I do not plan to do that. So.
Oh wait, what's it called again? The Wolf Man?
The Wolf relocation project of the 1990s in Yellowstone.
God, yeah.
They've been eradicated.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, we could do something like extinction as well, right?
Yeah. Anything.
Like,
You could do
like
like
the
a.
top, or
Like I didn't write this down, but this came to my head when you said that. Boys, you're making this take way too long. Okay, so like for example, this just came to my head after talking to Sanjeev. Like the Endangerment Act or whatever, like putting people on, or not people, putting animals on the like endangerment list to help preserve the species would also be good. Though that generally gets a few projects every year, but not a whole lot, so you're probably good. The U.S. annexation of the Philippines. Creation, I actually really like this one. If I were to circle a fourth one, I would have circled this one. Creation of the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, or the VA, after the Vietnam War.
My grandma was president of the VA.
That's cool.
And then she retired.
So if you want to do
Is
something,
NHD only in the U.S. or
No,
is it
it's
also Canada?
all the states plus about 7 other countries, 7 other territories.
I've been wondering that for a while. I just want that.
yeah, like Korea is one that does it.
And
North Korea?
China did before COVID, right?
Yeah.
Against Korea, but
Ukraine.
Yeah. But if you want to do something with veterans, I would really suggest that because that had a huge impact on like the well-being of like veterans and future veterans and whatever. Okay. This is one I looked into 2 years ago, and I wouldn't suggest it because it's rather recent and there's not a lot of research on it. But the Rights of Nature movement in Ecuador, I talked to people a lot about that. Yeah, it's a really cool topic, but probably not something that's really going to be discussed for. Yeah, and
Is there any scholarly like
there's some,
sources?
but not a lot. The Columbian Exchange, you might want to narrow down a bit on that. Like, horses or something, like how horses benefited tribal nations after the Columbian Exchange or something like that would be cool.
AP Human Geo flashbacks right now.
And I literally wrote down plastic surgery. But I did not circle that. Okay, Sammy.
So I wrote down Title IX, I think. That's how you, yeah, IX. I don't
Title
know.
9.
Title 9.
Yeah.
That's, I don't know Roman numerals.
Yeah, Title 9.
So the made it so like people like women like especially in athletics like could be like discriminated against like compared to men. And I also wrote down Margaret Sanger, she opened the first birth control clinic. And then just in general like women in music that like made some sort of impact. And Margaret Corbin, who was a soldier in the Revolutionary War, like one of the first like female soldiers to actually like receive like pay for being a soldier. And then Nora Hasen, who was like I don't know how to explain it, like a female like war artist, and like she started like painting studio portraits of officers, but she actually in like 1944 she got to work closer to the war.
I like that one. Let's do that one. You're a narcissist.
Spelled with H?
What?
No H.
No H.
Oh, damn it. Never mind.
That's how Nate spells it.
I know, and he's my least favorite person here.
It's okay, Nate. You love it. By this guy.
Yeah, I really wanted to do Theodora of Byzantium, but it's like way too ancient. But she was like one of the first people to actually like recognize that women had the same rights as men. Well, should have the same rights as men. But it was cool, but like there's nothing on it, like at all.
It's hard to find a lot of massive stuff.
I wanted to, like really bad. Like I was actually like thinking of doing it. And just in general, women in the Holocaust that like made some sort of impact. And I had a lot more, but like I don't know.
Which ones did you circle?
Title IX, Nora Hasten or whatever, and then Women in Music, and then a couple other ones. But
Those are your top 3 though.
yeah.
Okay. I had the Morse computer virus from 1988, which is what I'm thinking I'm probably going to do. It was basically when cybersecurity actually started to become a concern. How interstate highways are racist.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wait,
When they built highways through cities, they targeted mainly poor black neighborhoods and demolished their houses.
Ooh,
That-
on that note,
Yeah.
on that note,
Heard about that?
We
I would
did!
like to add. Wait.
It's such a fun topic.
I would like to add to that. Another similar topic would be like urban heating islands or whatever, or something like that. Basically, like poorer like areas tend to have like more cement and pavement, which actually absorbs heat from the sun and makes it really hot in that area. So there's like more heat exhaustion, and there's less trees and like shrubs and stuff in poorer areas too. So like segregated groups are more likely to get heat exhaustion.
Okay.
Also, the gentrification in cities leading to the in-housing of poor people.
That's a good idea. That's a really good idea.
Although I do feel like it's kind of broad, to be honest.
Yeah,
like,
you
have
want
to
to
narrow
narrow
it down. But it's like a cool
Like
general
you want to find like a
idea.
specific instance of it, I feel like. But okay.
Like if there was like a court case or something.
Like
We got West Texas A&M basketball team, the first black basketball team. They won a national championship.
That'd be cool.
It was. I thought about doing that. Actually. Henry Ford, although I do believe that he'd probably be kind of overused.
Yeah, unless you do something that like isn't the assembly line that's like less known about him, might be interesting.
Yeah, that's true. Like how bad of a person he was.
Yeah.
Frontiers
Okay.
in history, how bad Ford was.
ENIVAC, the first digital computer. And then we got how Sputnik reformed American education for the worse. Not the bad. Okay.
Wait, explain
Your
that one.
turn, Nate.
Wait, no, explain that one. I want to hear about that.
What were your top ones?
I have my top 3 circles. So the computer virus, racist interstate highways, and the basketball team.
Wait, quick, explain Sputnik. I want to hear about that.
Well, basically what Sputnik did was it just made, first of all, Sputnik, I watched a short video about this, but basically what they were saying is that like Sputnik made us realize that we were behind the Soviet Union the space race, which meant that a lot of government funding started going to like education and like stuff like that, which is great, but like, and I can see the benefits, but like at the same time that also kind of, I feel like infused the idea that like every person should be educated, which isn't a bad thing, but there are some people that like school is just not for them, you know?
Mhm.
And so I don't know, it was sort of a half joke, but also half not, because
Where
like,
everybody's held to the same standard
yeah,
instead
exactly,
of letting
that's
them
what I mean,
explore
that's what
different
I'm trying to say,
areas.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, just ignore them. They're being disrespectful.
I'm
not disrespectful.
Come on.
is this really what we want our future president like?
I think we need, can we impeach the club president?
Yes.
With a
Oh,
two-thirds majority?
Me, I just
Future
said,
vice
I
president.
said it. Okay, I was gonna say, I just supported you, bro.
How about one?
We only need a two-thirds majority.
Okay. So my first one was
And
the
Sammy
Punic
gets
Wars.
impeached.
Oh my god,
Hey.
shut up.
Great shot.
Okay, the first one was Punic Wars. It's really good. Animal, pretty cool. Then Nukes, probably gonna do that one. Or Dynamite, because that's also pretty cool. And Alfred Nobel, the epic. Yeah. Sanjeev.
Okay. I feel like nukes would be a little bit overplayed, maybe.
Oh,
I
I
would
don't know
narrow it
about
down.
that.
Then you're gonna have to narrow it.
Like a specific bomb, or specific nuke.
Or you could do the Marshall Plan.
So,
What?
You don't know what the Marshall Plan is, but you want
Bro,
to do
us two aren't history nerds. We
Don't
just
do
know
it in
we're
March.
songs.
Okay.
don't leave.
The Marshall Plan was, when was that? That was like Cold War time. So basically when we were in the race against the Soviet Union, that included like a nuclear arms race. And what the US did was the Marshall Plan. And basically that was just like a big plan to build up like nuclear arms,
They give
like nuclear
12
weapons, and like atomic bombs basically.
Oh, that was
Did they give like $12 billion?
Well, the first part of the plan was to build an atomic bomb. That was the first part, but then building it up.
They didn't want France to go communist, I guess.
Or you could do that one case. There was a case, I don't remember. There was a case, you'd have to look it up. But basically, it was this family that was like said to have given atomic bomb information from the US to the Soviet Union and was working in the Marshall Plan. And it was a really controversial case because a lot of people thought they didn't do it and a lot of people thought they did. And eventually they were like found guilty and like were hung.
One of them was found guilty, the other one was questioned, but I don't think that.
At least I think they were hung.
One of them was hung, yes, and then the other one was imprisoned. Hanged. English is overrated.
Oh, hanged. Okay, they were hanged.
For execution.
That
I mean,
sounds
talk
like.
to Nate about it. He knows that English is
Is it
overrated.
stank?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Stunk.
But that would be interesting as well if you don't want to just do something as simple as the
That's-
Marshall Plan.
That was Ethel and Julius Rosenberg.
Yeah, the
They did-
Rosenberg case.
Him, they're pretty sure was involved. Ethel was pretty controversial whether or not she was involved in
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure she was, because I found out a little bit
it.
later.
Yeah, and actually they were kind of turned on by either his brother and that guy's wife,
Yeah.
or was it his brother?
It was his
Yeah.
So if you guys want to write down the Rosenberg case, that would actually be a
It's like such a good
very
one.
good one. That would be a very good topic.
Alright, so next I had AIDS, penicillin, Australia, the Conquistadors, and Antarctica. And then the creation of communist China, the creation of communist Russia, and then it started getting stupid. The creation of communist America, the creation of communist
That's why
Turkey,
they were big,
the creation of communist Canada, the creation of communist Joe Biden, the creation of communist Nora Ness,
Nora, are you a communist?
the creation of communist your mom, and the creation of communist LGBTQ.
Okay, anyways.
Okay, so let's say I want to do a topic related to the Nazi Party in America. Would that work?
Yes.
Neo-Nazis.
Yeah, as long as you can explain it to the theme, then yeah, it would work.
Okay, because like the Nazi Party became more prevalent until the leader's son killed him. So you know,
I would
They
just
were
be as simple as
pioneering
like,
some new
basically, yeah.
gas chamber technology.
you could be as
Ooh,
simple
yeah.
You could be as simple as like saying that.
Creation of all
Wait,
sorts.
actually,
Oh yeah, I was gonna take like
Don't
one.
steal Gabby's idea.
I was talking.
No, no, I'm not
That's
gonna
my
skip
bad.
that.
Okay, you could be as simple as to say it's a frontier in history because Nazism moved to America. It could be that simple. That's a really good way to explain
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it's still there.
It's still here.
It is, it's gone underground, but it's still here, and then they pop up.
My
Yes,
friend
Nazi.
has a swastika in her basement from the previous home.
Swastikas are meant to be peaceful, and then
Like
Then they-
it's
then
on
they're
like,
just,
it's
like,
spray
curved
painted
45
on like the
degrees.
wall of her
A
basement,
lot
like
of
the
people
concrete wall.
moved
of
away
the
from
basement.
using
Who?
swastikas to other less
Frank
common,
Mackenzie.
and they used
Literally Hinduism uses swastika, and then
Okay, okay. I understand, but we have very limited time. We are very behind schedule, so I'm gonna ask that everyone say, like, go down and no one speak, except for the person that's supposed to be speaking.
So I still haven't narrowed down what kind of event I want to do, but some like categories I wanted to be related would be like Antarctica, like in some fights they had and conflicts. I also wanted to do human rights and economy.
Oh, yeah.
So
I wanted to do the caste system. I don't even think that would work. BRICS, social Darwinism, Song Dynasty.
Caste system, I just want to jump in, caste system would work.
Okay, alright.
It'd be fine.
Okay, so obviously I really am thinking about the tampons and just like taking it into consumerism. I'm not gonna actually like demonstrate, but doing the consumerism on that and women's health would be interesting. Civil War amputations, because that's actually pretty interesting. Vaccinations and how they've kind of improved and like how the public has taken them. As a frontier, I don't know. We used to be like, yay, vaccines, now it's like essential oil.
Nobody say anything.
That would be wouldn't it? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no talking.
And then I'm gonna do like toxic gas, mustard gas, like from like the world wars, just like do like a whole history of like the gases and how that became like from toxic gas, and they upgraded to mustard gas, then used it in the gas chambers in the Holocaust. I don't know. I'm still trying to work that out. Communism, nationalism, and just how that's kind of shaped some different things. Johannes Gutenberg, Facebook, Marilyn Monroe. There we go.
I kind of just sat here for a while because I didn't know what to do. I got some stuff, like 3 things. The colonization of the Ainu, they're like the indigenous people of Japan. Henrietta Lacks, which we're already thinking of doing. ACT UP, which is an AIDS program. Wolf, and then the veteran thing. And then the Philippine drug war, which I think is way too recent, but I think it's cool. I have Dr. Sally Ride, Advancements in Space Exploring, which I circled. Henrietta Lacks, which I also circled. Protests for birth control and abortion access. The annexation of Hawaii into the United States. The effects of westward expansion on indigenous peoples. ACT UP in the protests for research on AIDS. Rosalind Franklin and the discovery. I circled ACT UP. Rosalind Franklin and the discovery of the double helix structure. Communism, but specifically focusing on Marxism, and then the creation of the Veteran Affairs Hospital, which I circled.
Those all sound great. I love them. Okay. You have another 10 minutes. We're not gonna do a discussion over this. This is just for your own benefit. So you have another 10 minutes to fill out the interest, topic, issue, and theme for the 3 topics that you circled. The interest is what you're interested in. The topic is what you circled, but maybe a little more specific if it was broad. The issue is what makes the topic important even today. And the theme is how your topic relates to this year's theme. So you guys can start now, but if you need an example, I'll read off mine. So my interest was baseball. My topic was the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League during World War II. The issue is female discrimination in sports, still relevant today. And the theme is an ideological frontier, women in sports.
I'm gonna use the bathroom.
Okay.
Drink too much juice.
Okay.
Did you say too much juice?
Yeah, too much juice. I have like half this, okay?
That's not healthy.
Wait, where's the bathroom?
Straight ahead.
Right there. Literally right there. And he passed it at first.
I know. Tried to make it seem like it was on purpose.
guys had a really good idea. Stop looking at me.
Did we finish at the exact same time? I literally put my pen down right when you did.
Dang, bro, that's crazy.
It is. Like 4 minutes.
Oh,
If you don't finish, it's not a biggie. You can finish it later. We're not sharing. I'm just giving you time now to do it.
yeah.
If anyone has any trouble, you can get it to me and I'll flip them out.
Oh my gosh, thank you, Jill. Take them for you.
Okay, you come in.
A little less than 2 minutes.
Okay, I was.
Wait, who's winning? Let's go.
You know what Thomas texted me?
What do you think?
He goes, building a house, sorry, can't show up.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. Yeah, I think we already are past that.
I don't know actually.
I tried to convince him, because he does robotics or something with Sam.
Oh, yeah. Wait, what now?
I tried to convince him to like do an HD by telling him to do something historically related to robotics.
That could actually work really well too.
It
Yeah.
would.
Yeah. I had a tough time convincing me
Yeah.
in middle school.
You did.
Yeah.
Most people.
It wasn't really
Is that
bad.
bad?
What?
Well,
Yeah,
it's more fun now because it's not for a grade, so you can literally put in as much effort as you
Also,
want.
I'm with a veteran.
How would they grade you? Would it be like you get a B if you had second place?
No, so how it worked was like every like
I didn't even get
2
graded on
weeks, you had
mine.
like a
There was
you
no
had
grade
so
on
many,
I don't think
like,
ours got
notes.
graded.
Yeah.
I don't
think
think
they
they
did.
graded ours either. Maybe they don't grade the good
I did.
ones.
Yeah.
You did?
You did
Yeah,
get grade for like your final
Yeah,
project.
this best didn't grade ours.
No.
Because I looked at like
I
different
want
steps
that.
and then different.
I don't want to know my
I'm
grade on
glad,
that.
I'm glad. That documentary was.
Yeah.
Who has a state
Yeah,
though?
like even in
We have
a
to
group
read
project,
those.
one person did.
Or
it, they did
regionals,
state.
yeah.
I mean,
All
girl,
three
we
of
got
them,
those
all
three.
three of them have apologized to me about
Have
that
they
year.
really?
Who?
Especially Anne.
Oh yeah. The group that she worked on in middle school.
Oh, was it
Or
transfer?
like 98 or something.
Yeah. I like NHD, but I was overwhelmed with everything I had to do.
Yeah, me having to put all of the audio.
Well, God, Emma did try.
You just kind of put in a lot of time on.
Sorry, I got a lot of stuff against
Yeah.
her.
I don't know.
And I'm still really close with Harley and Anne. I don't really talk to Gracie ever, but I'm close with the other two.
You know she moved? She moved to
Oh,
Rapid.
darn it.
Yeah.
I didn't talk to her. I had to find that out from other people. But
Okay, shutty.
We gotta do like.
Shutty.
Focus stress on.
Okay, no discussion. Alright, fundraisers. More fun topic.
Oh.
Okay, so everyone, I should have told you all to bring your schedules, but we need to set up a fundraiser for Pizza Ranch in late October.
You know why I have to leave at 6? Because
What?
I have to go to a fundraiser at Pizza.
Nice. You should put in a good word for us. I already called them and they're like, well, we're booked until August or September, and I'm like, well, I can't do
My
September.
family's just going to
So.
support. I'm not actually doing it.
So what?
Have we ever thought about meeting a quota for like a, I don't know, cookie dough or donuts? Something
What? No.
I'm just asking, okay?
Wait, say it again.
I would personally be against the idea of having
Okay, how do you
for
feel?
like saying selling like cookies.
Well, right now we're not doing
Hey
Shati.
guys,
Right now we're not doing anything like cookie dough or donuts, but I am planning to look into it. I'm not gonna do quota. I'm just gonna tell you, please try.
Is this just for like nationals or what?
Yeah. Well, and like registration
No,
fees
you
for
don't have to try.
state.
Nora, I have an idea too that's really simple.
Okay.
And this, my niece is going to the nationals in FCCLA, she's in Parkson. Anyway,
SCCLA?
yeah, going to San Diego. And what they did is each one of the people there, they took 2 months, May and June. And then people could buy, like if I wanted to buy June 9th, I would donate $9. And I could buy other days too. And so you'd go around to people that you know, and they could buy, you know, like if they only wanted to give you $1, they'd buy the first day. And whatever money you got was donated to the organization then. So by the end with everybody, and they had a raffle, they had gift cards they raffled off at the end. Super easy to do too, which would be really easy. So
I
let's
don't
say,
understand.
okay,
So why
so,
would you
so
buy a
let's,
day though?
it's just a, instead of asking for a donation, it's a way to possibly win a gift
I
card
see.
too. So let's say we took September and October and November. And you, like each one of us would have a calendar with those days, like the 30 days or 31 days in October, the 30 days in November. And I would go up to my husband and make him buy some days and say, let's say he bought October 15th and November 1st. He paid $15 for the 15th and $1 for the 1st. It's just a different way to do a donation. And then everybody, and they sign their name on the calendar, and everybody's name on the calendar out of all of ours that we get, they'd be drawn for gift cards. And so that's kind of an easy one to do too, as far as organization, where you just like family members, and if you get, she had both months filled out pretty quickly. And let's say, you know, I don't know as many people as Angie. You know, his might get filled up quickly, mine might not get filled up all the way, but it's just an easy way to do it too.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's another one to think about that's easy, and I can help organize that one too. Yeah,
That's
it's
more
really
interesting.
what?
More interesting.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, that'd be cool. I've never thought
I had never heard of it before. So.
Yeah.
Dude, watch me play on
It's just my thing with that is like I can never convince people I know to just like give money, even if it is for a raffle.
Well, and, like some of the people she goes to school with, like you know, some of the kids. Yeah, I've got $2, let me buy the second, or something like that, and then you could get a $50 gift card out of it. So.
And that would rely on like a good amount being filled.
Yeah. So I mean that was kind of iffy depending on how.
From my family are my parents, my grand, and my 4 sisters. My 2 sisters.
Well, and other kids at school too, or something like that might be. So I mean it's one to think.
Yeah, yeah.
New brownies.
Sanjeev, did you have one?
Just throwing that out there. It's just-
Alright, so it's probably a really, really dumb idea. But like what if we had some cross country runners like run and like people like place bets on it or something like that?
Oh,
That's a good idea.
Place bets on who would win.
But I mean, like whoever gets the closest to the time wins the.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, that'd be
oh, would you guys want to do that?
Like a race kind of to get money.
Either placing
Yeah.
bets on who wins or placing bets on.
Well, it's
It doesn't matter.
Like depending on distance.
Doesn't matter.
So, like,
We'll hype
better
you
like
up.
100 meter dash or
We should
or-
bet on St. John's AP test scores.
And also people
I just feel like sassing him like
betting on something.
You're betting at us.
800 and above, I got Andrew.
Wait, 800? No, I destroyed you on 800.
Okay, jeez.
Oh.
Wait, what did you?
Good practice.
Yeah, but
Alright,
what's your-
boys. Is there anything else we can think of, like betting on club members for things?
sports. No, sorry, no.
Well, obviously, we already. Anyways.
No, I mean
AP test scores.
Q was thinking AP test scores. I think that'd be cruel but funny.
It would be hilarious.
It would be funny because I'm pretty sure I got a 1 on like the exam. So
I'm manifesting for you.
I thought I got a 5 and I got a 1.
I'm pretty sure I passed all of mine.
I'm
Like
not.
4 or
I don't
5.
think I got anything. I'm just hoping.
I took the AP Human Geo test late, and there's this big old map on the wall with a bunch of terms that were on, because I took it in the conference room, and there's this big old map on the wall with like a bunch of terms that are on the test.
that is not fair.
For the one that were cute, I didn't learn.
Wait, which
Okay,
one?
for one, I kind of fell asleep. So
Which
they're
effort?
really loud.
I was really confused on what was the time zone.
Okay, focus.
I don't remember.
So we need to set up a time like now for the end of October because they're always going to be scheduled like 3 months ahead. So end of October, any dates you're not free besides obviously Halloween. I'm not going to make you be at Pizza Ranch on Halloween.
Most Fridays,
You're not free on most Fridays, or you are?
I'm not free.
Weekends are
Okay.
awful time for me to work.
Not
All weekend.
Fridays. Okay, so just to clarify, the Pizza Ranch thing would be 5 to 8. Is that still relevant for both of you?
Oh,
Yeah,
then
I
I can
can't
do
do
it.
both Fridays.
Yeah, I can do it then.
You can
Yeah,
do
I
it.
just put in the day.
It's not like you have to
We're
plan
not
the
doing
schedule
weekends,
around
are we?
me though. Like,
Well, yeah, I know. But the more people we have there, the more money we make. So,
I've got to take off, guys.
okay, sounds good.
So just let me know when the next meeting is, when you guys
Okay,
decide.
I think we're thinking Saturday, but we're gonna talk about that later.
Alright,
Or I'm
sounds
thinking
peachy.
Okay.
Have fun.
Peachy. So I'm working to get CNA and EMT certified, so I don't know if I can really do much of the weekdays. I can probably come to like Mondays and Tuesdays, but
No, Sanjeev, like off topic, but that's cool. That's really cool.
Well, it has to be Mondays through Wednesdays, so you probably won't be able to do it then.
wait.
Yeah, so try and
I can probably ask for different hours though.
Well,
I can find it.
here. Let me tell you the information first before we talk about
Yeah.
this. So, 41st Street location. It would be a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. It would be late October, 5 to 8 p.m. Basically, what we do is we go in.
Oh yeah, no, okay, never mind. I'm good then. Thursdays are fine.
What?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Until, like,
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Those are the days?
Yeah.
Oh.
You said Thursday, my dude.
I do.
Just assume I'm not free till like the 20th.
of October. Okay, so after 20.
Band.
That's fun.
Alright,
Yeah.
and if you can, try not to make it on a Tuesday because we might have a cross country week then.
So
Okay, so we have Mondays
Oh, I can't do
and Wednesdays.
Wednesdays either.
I probably
So
do
we're
first.
aiming for a Monday.
Mondays.
Right,
Monday.
for Monday after.
So everyone can do a Monday in late October.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It depends what they have going on, but probably.
Probably. Okay.
Most definitely.
Abby's just
Girl,
controlling
People
everything
don't
right
plan
now.
ahead like
Well,
you
because
do.
they don't tell you until like
I
I try to, but other
Okay,
people don't.
Shuddy.
Okay.
We gotta plan this. And I still have a 40-minute video to show you guys.
What in the world?
Yeah,
What's it about?
rules. We're going over all the rules again because some of you have not done this.
Oh my god, I did not break that.
Like what? Basic English grammar?
No. I will send Nate his own video.
Point and laugh. Point and laugh.
Okay, so basically how it works is we go in and clean tables. Now, and we're basically the waiters. And the better we do, the better we do as waiters, the better, because all the cash tips we get from customers, we get to keep. And we get 10% of all sales. And unlike Chipotle, they don't need to tell them that they're there for an HD. So we get 10% sales for everyone that's in there, even if they don't know who we are.
Oh, so we're not gonna have another
It's actually
Chipotle.
cool.
So we're just stealing money from
Chipotle was good.
We probably have to go through something like orientation.
But
Ow.
so let me look at October.
The Chipotle idea was like really good. It worked out pretty well.
Yeah, we got like $400, bro. That was
Was
so
Rick
good.
supposed to come today?
Who?
Rick?
No, she was working.
You got,
Isaac, I used the carrier.
Who?
Like, to chip.
What is your lock screen like?
Okay,
That sounds. Well, Andrew's my outer.
So, how about Monday, October 24th?
Sydney and Bourbon.
I'll
Open.
put it on my
I'll take it
calendar.
off, yeah.
we'll have to pray for that one.
Wait, what?
Write it down. Monday, October 24th, that's what I'm telling them. Keep it open if you can. Because the more people
Let me
we have,
check
the more
my
money we make.
It's just gonna be like on that day, and there's like one person there.
Oh my god,
My
that
family
was
will
so
come.
bad.
I'll be there. I'll for sure.
That's why
Okay.
I love it.
October
So Monday, October 24th. Be there. Hopefully there's not any concerts
Time's
or
not
anything.
determined.
If there's no concerts.
For me, there won't be. I don't have a concert until December, as far as I know.
I have no life, so I can't advise.
What do you even
Yeah,
need?
quick check
You
that.
Unless
literally
it's
just
Boston,
said you were
because I was-
booked every day of the
No,
week.
I won't. I
Okay.
won't. No. So I want to go, but like
Our concert's on the 22nd of October.
we're good.
So we're good.
On a
Okay.
Saturday.
Yeah, that's a Saturday.
Power down.
I don't know, I'm reading the schedule.
Okay, anyways.
Ask the director, not me.
So next, Skate City. So to my understanding, they don't normally do fundraisers, but I was talking with this Tony dude on the phone, and he was really nice. He was like, "Yeah, we can do a fundraiser for you. We don't normally do it, but sure." And I was like,
Do we
"I
have
like
to
you."
skate?
Yeah.
How to
So
skate?
basically, how this would work? It has to be on a Saturday night,
Okay.
and so, like, because we're associated with Roosevelt, that's the only reason we're doing this, or they're doing this. So basically, anyone that would come in and buy like a ticket to get in or whatever, I don't know how Skate City works. There would be like, he said he would probably give like a $2 kickback for everyone that came in and said they were associated with NHD. So again, people have to remember. But yeah. He also said we could do a silent auction, but I'm not gonna worry about that right now. So we're looking for Saturday nights from 8 to 10. Not the third Saturday of the month, not the first Saturday of the month. So
8 p.m. to 10 p.m.
So what I'm thinking is next month,
p.m.
probably.
It's not gonna be 8 a.m.
Well, why wouldn't it be 8 a.m. to 10 a.m.?
Why can't we do
Who skates in
I don't know. Crazy
People run in the morning.
That's true.
So
I run in the morning. Did you run in the morning?
Quiet.
Okay.
What I'm thinking is
Yeah, we should do
July 23rd. We should have 2 dates just in case.
July? Oh, that's in the summer.
Yeah, this year. So July 23rd or July 30th.
July 23rd?
Me too.
Fun fact, I'm gonna be in California on that day.
On the 23rd and the 30th.
But,
Well, this isn't a biggie because you don't have to be there for us to make money. You just have to advertise.
oh, that's a good thing.
But if you guys want to be there, like
No, I can't. If I skated, I would kill myself accidentally.
we should still go for fun though. Even if you're like on the sidelines.
I was
I've
thinking
never
of
gone
it.
on the ice. I'm scared too. I've
Ice?
never
The
ice?
The ice.
Wait,
I was
ice?
skating.
I thought it was
Skating.
you.
Nope. I
It is a
just
roller.
split my
It is a roller.
entire fit.
She's confusing ice skating and roller skating.
No, the ice.
I have
Oh, do they
roller
call it
skates.
ice?
Yeah, I was wearing jeans.
I don't.
Well, I don't know what else to
Dude,
call
we
it.
should
Like the
jump
rink,
on it.
I guess.
Yeah, I got roller skates.
I've never been in the rink. I've always been on the sidelines.
I'm way too scared because one time I fell on my face and after this thing in elementary school, and then to this day people still like bring it up and make fun of me about it, and I'm like scarred for life now.
I went with
That's a great idea.
Well, maybe you can still come and
I
just not
stayed
stay.
in the practice skating.
I'll watch.
I stayed in the little practice area the
Wait,
entire
so
time.
one
You can just
for,
stay in the food area and just
Monday, October 24th, that was Pizza Ranch?
and everyone else can just
Yes.
skate
What?
on the
Yes.
ice.
Last time I went, I stayed in the practice part the entire
last
time.
time I skated was in elementary school.
Okay,
so
bye.
I'm out of
Bye.
Bye.
He left.
Okay,
Adios.
so
Adios, amigo.
alright, so
Why is you still watching?
I don't know. That was so crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I can't do July 30th. Does July 23rd
We
work
can do
for
July
everyone?
30th either.
That's what I already wrote down. So
Oh, what time is it?
Yeah. 8 to 10.
It would be July 23rd, which is a Saturday, from 8 to 10
Yeah.
PM.
PM or PM? Okay.
p.m.
I really
like I
don't
work.
want to go skating it.
Because if it's AM, I definitely can't do it.
Yeah.
No, it's p.m.
Also,
Would that work for everyone?
Good.
It should.
Technically, you don't have to be there. This is just more of an advertising thing. But I mean, if you go, it would help and it would be cool. You could probably convince more people to go if you're saying that you're gonna be there too. So, all right, I'm gonna go down the line. Work for you,
Yeah. As
As
far as I know.
Wait.
Sanjeev?
8 p.m.
Does it work for you?
Yeah.
Probably. Okay, Andrew, does it work for you?
Maybe.
Probably. Nate?
Probably.
What day is July 23rd? Sunday?
Okay, I will tell Tony July 23rd.
Tony or Tony?
Tony. That's the guy's name.
cereal box? It's tough.
Use box tops.
Is there anything?
Okay,
So fruit and ice. but-
so
Was he Italian?
for Pizza Ranch, we have Monday, October 24th. For Skate City, we have July 23rd. Sky Zone, I'm still waiting to hear back from the person. What the fuck?
Alright, see ya. Did it.
No, they're not leaving. Their stuff is still here.
Yeah.
Okay, well, they can look at this
Fruit
later.
is nasty.
They can look at this later. Sky Zone, please pay attention. Sky Zone, I'm still waiting to hear back from them, but we're probably gonna do something for that too. And Chipotle, we can only do one a year, so we have to wait. We have to wait until after January 22nd. So I'm probably gonna set it up more near like Thanksgiving break.
Why can't we only do it once a year?
Well, I don't think they'd appreciate if we're taking $500 from them every 2 months.
But it's very good for us.
We only took 300.
They need to care less about themselves.
Well, yeah,
and more
but
about
with
the
more
people.
people now, it'll probably be 500. At least.
Why is NHD doing better with fundraisers than DECA? Literally. So stupid. Because like
is
DECA
DECA?
has like one
What? Yeah,
fundraiser
what
and we just like ruined it.
I can try and help you guys.
What?
I can try and help you
Oh my
guys.
gosh, you have to do that.
I mean,
What do you I don't know
like-
what NECA is either.
What is
we
DECA?
sign up for our own categories and then we just do business related.
you'd probably like
Everyone
it,
placed
Gabby.
first or second.
Gabby, you would probably like it. I think
I was the only one
I
who
do
placed
feel
for
like we would like
international, so that's pretty
that's
good.
something I
That's
bet you
really
would like.
Oh, I'm just gonna put it in my numbers.
No.
DECA.
Yeah, and then he's not one of the leaders because he got scammed.
Ouch!
But
Okay.
no,
She literally rigged the election, but
well, kind of. But you can text him if you want to know more because he can hook you up. Or me. Technically, I'm in the club too, but I know a lot less. So.
Okay.
Yes, I am. I signed up through the QR code. Thank you very
Do you know
much.
anything about it? Do you know how to get to the websites?
No, but I'm still in the club because Ruth says so, and she's the leader.
That's true. I mean, she did rig the election, but
Okay, and then small businesses. Also, I've not talked to any yet. I've not talked to any. But I know a lot of people with small businesses. For example, Linus's dad. For example, softball sponsor. For example, the other Abby's dad. the one that no, I'm not gonna say that. And for example,
I want you to finish that sentence.
no, and I forgot the other one. Oh yeah, my uncle's wife's business. So if you know small businesses,
Subway.
that's
It's
not
very small.
I
a
know,
monopoly.
I worked there.
She
I could
literally
convince
names
them.
a monopoly. Anyways, just a
My
second.
aunt has a failing cookie
Just a second.
business. I could do that.
Ask small businesses that pay attention.
Kittens.
Pay attention. Ask small businesses you know if there's anything we can do for the business in order to earn some funds in exchange or like a commission of any sort. So like advertising, putting flyers up, anything that we can possibly do, just ask them. Like if you don't have an idea, just ask them if there's anything that they would be willing to pay us to do.
That won't work for my aunt. She's cheap.
Some money is better than none.
Yeah, that
Even if
negative
it's just,
429
like,
might
if she's
not renew.
failing, ask her if she wants us to design a flyer for her, print it, and put it up like at places. Also, I want to go back to your lemonade stand idea. We can't do that because it's technically illegal in South Dakota.
Dang.
Wait,
What?
People hold the lemonade stands all the time.
Yep, but I don't want to get in trouble. It's illegal in 35 states, so
Why?
Which state
That's so
is it?
stupid.
We're children.
North Dakota. So
Let's drive to North Dakota, guys!
We honestly
Is it
could.
legal?
no, we would lose more money from gas.
Let's walk!
My car has a quarter of a tank.
All those things say
Let's
that
make a
you
fundraiser. Walk to North Dakota.
I think Nebraska does too. It should be less far.
Then let's go to Nebraska and have a lemonade stand.
Yeah, but
Well, why is that little kid getting away with doing lemonade stands?
Yeah, there's a kid by Pedigree.
it's a kid. If they see a bunch of if a police officer sees a bunch of teenagers
I
doing
can
it,
pull off as a child.
Abby
can.
can pull off.
you can. We
Give
can.
me some pigtails and I'll run a lemonade stand for us.
You honestly
God.
could.
I could. It's kind of silly.
And also, if you have any other ideas, like the one Miss Hurst brought up, we'll probably do a bake sale when school starts. A brownie bake sale.
Brownie Sundays too.
Yeah, but we'll that's what I'm saying. But we'll probably combine with some other small clubs because you need a lot of people to do that successfully. So we'll probably do that with like Greenhouse Club and some others. But yeah, if you have any ideas, you can text them to me. Just don't talk about it right now because I don't want to.
Lettuce club.
What is the
Text
lettuce
me.
club?
I don't know.
Why is that a thing?
I don't think I
Okay, I need to wait till the boys get back for this.
Do we?
I do actually.
Oh,
So
just chat by the doorway for the burritos.
okay. So we're not gonna have time for the Uno game. We were gonna play Uno at the end.
Oh.
Do you guys want to stay after and do it out there?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I will call my mom and tell her to get me. How long do you guys want to play?
Not too long, probably.
Like how? I need a like
I don't know.
like at 7. How long do you want to play?
7:30.
30 minutes for movie.
Yeah. With how many of us, that might not be long enough. Like 7:45.
Yeah, that sounds good. 7:45, 7:50.
Yeah.
That gives enough time.
Let's
Or
just
we
go
can
for
just
8.
eight.
Yeah,
Let's
let's
just
just
round
go
up.
for 8.
8
How
sounds
about
good.
7:56? Like,
I can.
Let's go. No,
I need those
like,
extra
I
4
like
minutes.
like, hey
7:59.
mom, will you pick me up at 7:56?
Get some goldfish though. They've been hogging the goldfish this whole time.
Bruh, okay, juice.
Hey, we're running behind because of the boys. So can you pick me up at 8 instead of 7? Would that work? Okay. Thank you. Bye. Will someone pour me some? I haven't had any yet. Oh my goodness. Alright, so you missed some relatively
Don't touch my phone. Don't.
Wait, you touched my phone?
Shuddy. Shut Sammy. Sammy, Shuddy applies to you too. Shuddy applies to you too. Shuddy applies to you all, not just the boys. Okay.
I'm the only guy kid. You're so cool.
There's some things, important things that you missed, so just go back to like the last part of the fundraisers thing on the YouTube video that I'll post out later, okay? Just make sure you go back to anything you missed. Like Andrew, maybe watch the beginning of the thing too. It'll be good. Just go back to anything you missed. I don't care if you leave or whatever, just like make sure you get caught up. Also, we were gonna play Uno after, but because you guys have wasted so much time, and not just you guys.
wasted time too.
Well, they did, yeah, a little, but you guys wasted a little more.
Did you say
But-
evil apples?
No, Uno. We were gonna play Uno,
What about
I'm not a
Christmas
communist.
We have time.
I'm not a communist.
Okay.
Anyways, no, because we still have to do the 40-minute video and then set up groups. So at 7, we're gonna play Uno for an hour until 8. If you guys want to stay until 8 and play Uno.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. We're not gonna do it here though. It's gonna be out there because we only have this room until 7. I might ask them actually. I'm gonna go ask them really quick if we can have it until 8.
Want to know the funniest part? This is actually my favorite club. Really? Not even joking. And I'm the president of 8 clubs.
No Duolingo, I'm not learning
What
Latin
club?
today.
HOSA.
I deleted
Oh, I forgot
Duolingo
those.
while I was learning Latin.
Duolingo's threatening me.
It's so annoying.
It's like,
I
you
hate
guys,
Duolingo.
one time I was like really passive aggressive. It's like, wow, Gabby, you told us that you practice Latin every day. Are you a
It's
learner?
us.
Do you learn us?
Didn't you
White
have it?
It's white
There's a scar. Right now?
No,
Wait, didn't
wow.
you
Gabby, are you gonna do a performance?
Sauce packet or?
Really?
Oh.
Rip, no, you're kidding.
Alright.
You're doing a performance? Whoa. Okay, I'm so excited right now.
Can we sign up for 2 things or just one?
Okay, we have this room until 8 now, so
NHD.
we're good.
Like, can we sign up for like performance?
No, you can only do one.
Aww.
Aww.
I really want to do paper and
You put
paper.
into a performance.
I want to do
I don't want to do a
paper.
performance. I want to do
Okay. So now that we're done with that, we have a 40-minute video and my computer sucks, so the speaker's bad. So I literally expect no talking. If you want to say something, if you have a question, raise your hand. I will pause the video and I will answer it.
I'm the only one who's raised their hands up.
No, I did.
Absolutely.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Absolutely no talking. Thank you.
People, I mean,
It's 6:30.
okay. Go back to present view. All right.
And I would
So
say
that's
take
kind
notes.
of what I have to
Stuff you
say
don't
about
already know.
plagiarism. I also this year did a lot of judging in the spring, and I was thinking about where kids seem to get confused. And I think so the next step in teaching plagiarism, it goes hand in hand with teaching kids how to give proper credit to their sources in their project. And I don't know how straightforward this is for students as they do their History Day projects, but I think maybe it's not as straightforward. Oh, the link isn't working? All right, Brian. Hey, if I come back to this at the end, I can probably give you a cleaner link. Just remind me to do that. So this is a new tool that you will find in our new Padlets, and it's called Giving Proper Credit to Your Sources. And again, this is most of what I build. The tools are student-facing that you can use with your students, and it is designed as a flow chart to kind of walk them through. So the big main idea is that with any source, there are 2 options for how to use the information from that source. And these options are the same. We treat them the same, whether they're a primary source or a secondary source. Your options are to quote the source using exactly their words and enclosing their words in quotation marks, or you can paraphrase the source by summarizing the author in your own words, which means you're not using their words at all. Those are the options. Anything in the middle there, where they're using mostly the author's words or mixing in a few of their own words, that's not on this chart, okay? So it should be a really clear distinction. You can use a direct quote, or you can summarize in your own words. And that's really, I think, a key to thinking about this. And either way that you do this.
Someone tell me what they just said.
They're telling us.
No, go ahead. I just wanted to ask a question.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Gabby.
Sorry, I just blurted it out. I apologize for that.
No, you're good.
So a quote is just using your word, like using the source directly, using it exactly, and then like putting the author at the end and stuff, or all the other information, and then paraphrasing is just summing it up in your own words.
Yeah, and then the important thing to add there is like, even when you're quoting, a lot of people, when they're quoting, they like add words with brackets or whatever. You can't technically do that in NHD. If you use a quote, it has to be exact. You can't add words to it. Yeah, and a full sentence is best, generally. Okay.
For quotes, we have to use apostrophes, right?
Quotation?
Oh, sorry, yeah, quotations. Shoot, my bad.
Yeah.
Double apostrophe.
American quotation. We do have to use it, right? Okay.
Yes.
That's bad. Because I'm not. Uh-oh. And when I entered in my paper, I didn't do that.
What did you do?
What?
You just like didn't quote it. You just like copied and pasted. You're just as bad
And
as
then I
those
put like
words.
and then I put like the number like of the
footnote.
Footnote, yes, the footnote.
Yeah, but you have to put it in quotes if you're gonna take it.
Ooh.
If it's like a quote from the source, you have to put quotes around.
That if you don't quote it in its exact words, it's plagiarism.
Because I thought that in a video that you showed us, it said that we could do that, so that's why I did it. And I didn't ask anybody about it, so now I know this time.
It's okay. I
You
mean,
can
I don't
always
think
ask us.
if any of your judges had noticed, they would have put it in the rubrics. So.
They did put it in my rubric.
Because they were talking about both of us, we had plagiarism.
Yep.
Okay.
You still need to give credit to that source because it's their idea or their words that you're using. Let's see, and I think I have another slide that talks a little more about good quoting habits. Okay, so then the next thing in the flow chart is that whichever thing you do, whether you quote or whether you paraphrase, you have to cite it in two places in your project. You're going to cite it in your bibliography and you're going to cite it in your project itself. So first, let's talk about how credit looks in an annotated bibliography. We can use MLA or Chicago style. Pick one for your whole class to use, and everybody uses the same thing. Really don't go back and forth between them.
Use MLA.
I know that most schools use MLA in their English departments, and so that's fine. Students should check with their teacher. Historians use Chicago. There are some good reasons for that. So if you have flexibility and you want to teach Chicago, use Chicago. Some formatting notes about the bibliography. It should be single spaced, just like the blue text that you see here. You should use a hanging indent for the citation and then a full indent for the annotation. So that means that your citation starts on the left, hanging indent 0.5 inches towards the right, and then your annotation lines up with that hanging indent. Okay? And then you have an empty space between the citation and the annotation. Oops. Gosh. And then you have another empty space between that annotation and then the next entry. Gosh. The annotations, that's this part. That should explain why the source is relevant to the project, how the students used it, and the annotations should not be long or extensive, maximum 3 sentences. Okay? And the citation is going to look a little bit different depending on whether you're using MLA style or Chicago style. But this is a formatted citation of a primary source.
Also, I want to say not 1 to 3 anymore. It changed
Okay.
to 2 to 3
Then,
sentences, not 1 to 3.
so the first place you're going to give credit is in the annotated bibliography. And we talked about using Noodle Tools or Scribble and using some kind of source tracking system during the research phase so that it's easy to do this now when they get into building their project and they need to start building those credits.
So if you don't know what category you're going to do yet, take notes on all of the categories. So this is exhibit and website, how you would give credit in your project.
So then there are different ways to give credit in the project depending on the category that they're doing. If they are in exhibits or websites, they need to use what we call a source credit. And that should go beneath every quote and every image in the project. Now, source credits are not a full citation. The big long citation with the URL and everything, that goes in the bibliography. The source credits are short and they are just designed to tell us and for students to give credit to the place where they got the item. So a brief title of the source, the year, that it was made or created, and then the archive or repository found it, where they found it. And I've got it illustrated in blue here with parentheses. I actually think that's not a rule, but I think that's a good practice because it makes it clear to the student and to the judges that all that's in here is source credit information. If students write more,
if you can't see the screen,
Move forward. Right?
no, if you can't see the screen, it'll be like on like in the YouTube video. Because right now, like my recording device is recording the screen, and then this is what's like capturing my voice. So if you need to see it like up close, it'll be on the YouTube video. Yes, Angie?
Alright, so I just want to make sure, like, I have a really weird thought about a topic that could be, I'm sorry, it's just, I don't want to forget it.
Okay.
Alright, oldest person in the world breaks technological norms. Could that be like something for a frontier? Or no?
Like explain a little bit.
Okay, so when the oldest person became the oldest person, she broke the okay, I don't even know how to say it anymore. Never mind then. Never mind. I'm
keep
gonna
going. Keep going.
No, I don't know how to say it. I really don't.
I get what I kind of get it. I feel like as long as it's not too recent, it adds.
Ouch.
I kind of
actually find sources.
Okay, never mind. You're right.
Yeah, like I get the idea, but they're like the biggest issue I see is that would probably be considered recent because breaking the technology barrier would be like something consistent today since they're still alive, if that makes sense.
No. I'm talking about like people who are born in like 1875 and died in like the late 2000s. I mean, sorry, early 2000s. Yes.
Immortal.
That's Queen Elizabeth.
No,
That's literally Queen
the
Elizabeth.
person that lived the longest.
Yeah.
Has lived the
Does
longest.
it count if the person is dead but their cells are still alive?
Oh, so
Cause
but still, like if you're talking about somebody that's alive, like if they're breaking the technology barrier, you're talking about
I still have
Their
that
cells
book.
are still alive.
I still have that book from when I bought it on Amazon to do that project, and then I did Congress and Debate. Turns out I hate Congress and Debate.
Gabby, you portrayed us all.
I'm
That
so
that
sorry.
performance was gonna be amazing.
I know, I had the whole like
That was gonna be
bleeding
so
blood.
cool.
She just turns green.
No,
Okay.
you and
Alright,
Emerson-
alright.
you and Emerson made our group
Abby.
Shut.
or explaining the quote or the image, that's called a caption. Okay? And so where source credits aren't counted against the word limit in these categories, captions do count as part of their student composed words. In the paper category, inside the paper itself, students need to use either footnotes or endnotes or parenthetical references to cite quotes and paraphrases. And probably images, although images will go in an appendix. So in NHD, we really prefer that students use footnotes or endnotes rather than parentheticals. This is what a footnote or an endnote looks like. Oh, I see I have a typo. And that means there's a typo in my original tool. Oh, that's gonna drive me crazy. Okay, so you insert a numbered marker, this little number 4, at the end of each quote or paraphrase in the paper. So even if they're paraphrasing, they still need to put this little note, number, marker. And then, you know, your word processing software will do this. If you insert a note, then it creates a little field at the bottom of the page or at the end of the paper where the notes go that correlate to those numbers. And this is also needs to be formatted by the style, MLA or Chicago, and the style for a note, not a bibliographic entry. They are different. It's frustrating that they're different, but they are different. Okay? And then in documentaries and performances, kids may think, oh, people are listening to my script, and so I don't need to cite my sources in my script. However, it's a really good idea for kids to make it clear, especially when they are quoting a source, or if they're paraphrasing something very closely, it's really good to give an indicator in your script that you're doing that. So you can identify the person you're quoting or paraphrasing in a couple of ways. You can set it up, you can use a subtitle if you're doing a documentary. You could use some kind of signage or a costuming device if you're doing a performance. Documentaries, I've also seen kids just put the quote up as, not as a subtitle, but as words on the main part of the screen if they really want to emphasize the quote. So there are a lot of things they can do to make it clear that they're quoting.
What?
That's what you did.
What did I do?
No, you need to be paying attention. This is your part.
Well, I was focused on the stickers Sammy put on my Chromebook.
I didn't put a sticker on your Chromebook. My sticker's
Swear
right
he has
there.
ADHD. Okay.
Or paraphrasing.
Just don't worry about it.
The other
You can
thing
go
they
back in
can
the
do
video.
is use framing words in the script. So you can say, President Roosevelt told fellow Americans during the Great Depression, quote, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself, unquote. Okay, so in every category, there are, you need to be clear, particularly in these two, when you are quoting or paraphrasing. Okay, so we,
No!
Nobody?
So is that a video then? Or
No,
Alright guys, let's leave.
during the Great Depression, quote, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself, unquote. Okay, so in every category, there are, you need to be clear, particularly in these two, when you are quoting and paraphrasing. Okay, so we talked about the bibliography. I thought this would be the right time to talk about all of the required written materials that go with a project to the competition. They are called required written materials. It's a bit of a mouthful, but what that means is your annotated bibliography and your process paper. And every project needs to have those materials done and included for the competition. If it is a group project, the group writes one version of each of these. Okay, so we don't want one from each student in the group. We want one set of required written materials for each project. So I always like to talk about the annotated bib, as this is how historians show their work. Kind of like in math, when your math teacher says you have to show your work because I need to know how you got to your answer, historians need to show their work. They need to show everyone what sources they used and where those sources came from. Okay, and then that allows the people who are reading your work to actually go look up your sources, and they can verify your research, make sure you're being honest about what you're doing and saying. And then they can also build off your own analysis and kind of continue the conversation by looking at those sources and maybe coming up with a different interpretation or using that as a springboard into another kind of research question. Let's see, I already talked a little bit about the formatting stuff and ways to use the annotations. A couple of other notes here just to call out for you are, if they are using a whole lot of photos from one collection, they can just put in a citation for that collection and then explain in the annotation that they used a number of photos from that one collection. And just to confirm, the annotated bibliography is not included against any of the word counts. Okay. Let's see, other formatting things. Make sure that the bibliography is divided into primary and secondary sources. Primary sources go first. The title of this is annotated bibliography. It's not works cited or references.
What is the best way to find primary sources? I found a ton of secondary sources, but I have
Library
almost
of Congress.
Library of
I
Congress
used
is good.
about 5 sources from the Library of Congress.
try to search
It-
newspapers.
It depends on
You
your.
really think that they have newspapers back in the 1870s? Oh wait, no.
It depends.
Yes!
It depends on the topic, but our next meeting. I'm so sorry, I'm just so fucking tired. Is gonna be about like research tips and skills and stuff. Do you want me to devote a section
Oh,
to
please,
finding
yeah,
primary
yeah.
sources? Okay.
Because I remember last year when you made the video about primary sources, secondary sources, and the differences between them. But finding them is painful. Because
Yeah, I'll
like,
try
I
and
had 6 or like 7 primary sources in my paper and like 20 like secondary. And
Okay,
it was
I'll
painful.
try and find some resources to show that.
Yeah,
I'll
sure
try
thing.
and-
Take your time. Thanks.
Yeah. Yep. I'll do that in the next meeting.
Yeah.
because that's not what it is. It's an annotated bib. And then optional is subdividing within primary and secondary the types of source. I like this because I think it helps kids.
Do you recommend doing that? Like subdividing into like different types of sources?
It depends. Like, wait, into primary or secondary, or
No, into like photos, websites,
okay,
everything.
it depends. Like, if you only have like 20 to 30 sources, then no, because it's gonna make it look like you have less than you do. But if you are one of those people that's a go-getter and wants to win nationals and has like 100 sources, then
Me
I
this year,
would
hopefully.
then I would recommend splitting them up, because that's gonna make it look more professional. But like, if you only have 30 sources, it's just gonna make it look like you didn't do a lot of research.
And then doesn't it have to be alphabetical order?
Just like me.
Yes. It does, in fact, need to be in alphabetical order. Thank you
guys
for bringing
like
that
that?
up.
Do it correctly this time. We did it like
Boys! Kennedy brought up a good point. Just remember you have to alphabetize every section. So like if you subdivide into books, like you have to alphabetize books and you have to alphabetize every section that you have.
I did like last year I did like all the sections, right? And then I didn't alphabetize them. And
Oh.
so right before we had to register.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And also
We
you
did
want
it
to,
on the way.
if you do subdivisions, you want to alphabetize those too. So like articles first, then books, then interviews, then photos, then
We
websites.
didn't do
Abby.
that. We didn't do that.
Kennedy, did you guys do that for regionals or state?
We didn't do both.
Oh my gosh.
We did it on
Well,
the
I
way.
had to alphabetize for them for regionals, and then they
Because
did it
I
for
was
state.
driving us.
Yeah, I
Yes.
was doing it in the
Yeah.
back of her car.
In the back of my Jeep.
Mhm. And I shouldn't have because it's against the rules, but yeah.
Wait, no,
And
do I get to
judges
yell at
see.
you? Do I get to yell at you like this season because you're also doing a documentary?
You're also doing a document. Oh, Nate, you're gonna get clobbered.
Yeah, you want
I don't
There's no
like. I
chance.
want to do documentary, but like I'm really nervous.
I mean,
'Cause I
I'm
wanna
gonna
go to
destroy you.
Because Sam is also doing documentary, right?
And Shay, who did well last year too.
Are you gonna do an exhibit?
I might do an exhibit. I'm either doing an exhibit
What's
or a
the least
documentary.
one that's done? The one that's
But-
done.
But we're not in the same division if I do it
I'm
individually.
an African Native American
Oh.
shot.
That's true.
Mhm.
We didn't think about that.
No, we did. Take
Wait, Nate and Andrew, are you guys doing a
It's
documentary
not,
together?
I'm not full.
I really hope you do a
I thought you
tampon
guys were-
performance. I think that would be awesome, guys.
Gabby, I actually think it's a good
We did
idea.
a tampon performance.
Demonstration.
I
Honestly,
think it would be really cool.
I don't personally use them.
I don't either.
I don't either.
Everyone makes fun of people for using pads. I'm like, yours is better.
Legit, why, like, okay, so there was this guy, and he, like, come up to me, he's like, do you use pads or tampons? And I'm like, why would I, first of all, why would I tell you
I've
that?
been living with
Anyways,
three
like-
boys for the past
Like,
6 months.
And then he's like, oh, then you definitely use pads if you want something. And I'm like,
Wait, no, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, what's
so-
the
discrimination?
I think my parents let me watch it with them.
The difference between like images and documents and the other kinds of sources that they're using.
Wendy, do you find that a lot of those kids that go to nationals have subdivided? I just feel like when you get higher up, you see that more often,
Yes, I think they do. And it's not a rule.
right?
However, it's a good practice. It's not something that like Noodle Tools won't do that for you.
Right, right.
So you kind of have to do it yourself, but it's a nice, here's the problem. If you think about documentaries, for example, where the kids need to probably have 50 images, if they just alphabetize all their sources, I'm as a reader of the bibliography, I'm going to be looking through and I'm going to be wanting to know where the key content sources are more than where the photographs are. And so if you've chunked out the photos into their own subset, then it's easy for me to see, oh, look,
That's the other thing I want to bring up. Like if you guys are only gonna have 3 sources, I wouldn't recommend subdividing. However, I would recommend doing primary sources, primary images, and then secondary sources. Because if you guys are doing an exhibit, that'll be better for you
We're
guys.
gonna have trouble finding primary
Yeah.
sources if we do Henry and the Lacks.
No,
I
I
think
think
we
to
can
find
find
old
tampons
tampons
covered up a lot.
That's good because it's documents.
So you must
So
have
we don't
You could just have like an exhibit in the shape of a tampon. Like it's a string going down.
I feel like that would be a good
Just like grab it.
We have an intern.
I actually feel like it's a good idea.
I just don't know. I just don't
Open
know
up
if that
like
would be
picture
good.
tampons
Boys.
and
I just don't know if that would be good
items
for an
for,
exhibit.
like,
Because an exhibit's really visual.
I like just in general like
So if you're gonna do an
It's like
exhibit, I would recommend
consumer
something
type
that
part of it
requires more of like a
of
visual
like
demonstration.
a pack, everything like that.
We throw an elephant.
Okay, I told my dad this isn't really necessary and all. He's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. This is exactly what happened.
You can think. You have a lot of time to think about it. You don't need to know your topic for a few days. So.
You know, they have this many articles, they read these great books, and they did an interview, and that is clear from a subtitle that says my interviews. These are the photos I use, these are the websites, these are the video clips. You know, here's the multimedia. And so it actually makes it easier to read the bibliography for the judges. However, it is a lot more work to do that, and you may find that, you know, you don't want to do that for regional or maybe state, but if you have a student who goes on to nationals, maybe you do.
Gotcha.
You know, maybe that's the time to invest that extra work in it.
Well, I do think it would help them realize they need to be well-rounded in all the sources that they're getting.
Exactly.
In other words, don't have one, you know, secondary source and 37 pictures, you know, so it's like, and if you break them out, you can see, oh, I have, you know, one good secondary source and 37 pictures. So it's kind of, so,
Okay, for all of you that
okay.
struggle with your process
Exactly.
paper,
I think that is a good practice, and that's a good reason to do it. It's just your bib generators won't do it for you. They'll generate something, but then they'll have to move things around.
Right.
But I 100% agree with you that it does help students kind of map out where their research has been heavier or thinner. You know, and it's easy to find images. It can be hard to find good documents. So, okay, and then the second part of the written materials is the process paper. If you are somebody who's done paper category in the past, I want to emphasize that kids who are in the paper category also do need to write the process paper from now on.
Everybody knows.
And with the new rule book, we changed up some of the guiding questions, the prompts for the process paper, because we really want this to get kids to think about the research and learning process that we went to. And we were getting a lot of responses like, well, I went to Home Depot to buy some wood, and, you know, my mom took me to the library. And so when we say, how did you create your project? It's not so much how I built it with things, it's how I built it with my ideas. Right? So we really want to.
If you didn't catch that, with like exhibits and stuff, you want to talk, and I didn't know this, you want to talk more about like your process of ideas and less about how you actually built your exhibit.
So no talking about the painting.
Apparently not. Sorry.
I used blue acrylic paint from a Home Depot.
We did. We did.
Wait, no, wait.
We did.
Nate went to the bathroom like 3 times already.
Is he good?
Anyway.
Something he ate, like that burrito.
More about
I had no
the
idea.
learning and their thinking. Okay, so there is a great tool to help kids write their process paper where they can just respond to each of these prompts. It's totally fine for them to write this in first person. And the maximum length is 500 words. Make sure that kids, you know, don't use quotes or subheadings in this. It really is just follow the prompts and answer the questions, but focus on the intellectual parts of the process rather than the mechanical. Okay? All right. Okay, the rule book.
Okay. I'm gonna. Shit. God damn it. This is gonna be the most inappropriate NHG videos ever, bro. I'm just wearing everything.
Wait, you swear?
Shit.
Oh, dang.
What do you think?
I had no idea.
Okay, so.
You were at the party, right?
I'm gonna read off.
Yeah, but she didn't really swear then.
I'm going to read off what you want in your process paper.
Yeah.
And we kind of already went over this last year, but write it down again. So you want to talk about how did you choose your topic? How does your topic relate to the annual theme? How did you conduct your research? You don't have to write it down word for word, just basically. How did you create your project? What is your historical argument? So you literally just put your thesis like word for word in there. Word for word.
We just need to have a thesis.
That too.
Yeah,
Okay,
this
That's
time.
important. You need a
I
thesis.
didn't get any of it. Can you just like?
I'll go.
I'm gonna come up there and just write it down.
Okay, fine.
Step number one.
And then in what ways is your topic significant in history?
Step one, have a thesis.
How did you
That's
choose
all
your
the
topic?
questions that you need to answer.
Don't write it
in
word
class.
for word, just basic notes. We don't have time.
How choose top. Okay. Next.
That's how Nate
How to
talks.
choose topic.
Topic
Choose
relates.
I'm waiting for Nate to like
Juicy.
read his debate notes word for
Theme.
word, and it's gonna be like, my
Research
oak
process.
is awful.
Nate, you should
Thank
do
you.
that.
Research process.
Conduct of research.
Project creation.
I'm not done yet.
Can you pour me some, please?
Think of me as a referral. Like, just, like, I'm so much better than you.
You literally just waste their time that are.
That's
You're
Oh,
not
no.
gonna want to waste debate or.
More.
Wait. Nate.
More.
Nate.
Give me
I
as
just
much as you
wanna-
have.
I wanna. God dang it, I wanna bring attention to this
Please help.
message from Nate. I'm confused. Is it Nationals virtual? Why are there so many people at the award ceremony?
It's gotta be great.
I was wondering the same thing. No. Nate, I was literally wondering the same thing.
No, look at the way he.
Wait, can I see? I'm confused. Is it actually virtual? Why are there so many people at the award ceremony?
How did you not
Okay.
know you were on a group chat?
Shuddy.
Write this in first person and the math rather than the mechanical. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, the rule book.
The
Let's
rule book is
see.
on the NHG
Let me just
website,
quickly.
by the way.
You can
That's all
easily
She's even going
you
there.
can easily get to the rule book on the NHD website, which of course isn't going to be easy for me to do because I didn't put the full link. And you should have gotten one in your packet. Did you guys get your boxes?
Shut up.
I think we sent out rule books with the boxes this year.
You said 40-minute video.
So
What'd you
it's
get?
easy to get the rule book. It's free.
It's actually an hour long.
And
I cut
it's
some of it out.
newly redesigned. This is our second year using this new rule book. I think it's greatly improved over the one we had before. Make sure you're using the current version. And we were going to talk about like how do you use this massive rule book because it is a big thick book. And I think that there is a place to use it at the beginning of your process. There may be some places you want to use it in the middle of the process, and then there's definitely a time to use it at the end of the process. So that's how I've organized going through here.
Still.
This new rule book has a lot of really useful guidebook kind of information. And so you'll see the guidebook sections at the beginning where we just explain what primary and secondary sources are. And we give some good, clear information about interviewing people as part of your research and how, doing oral history means interviewing somebody who is a primary source for your topic. That's not the same as interviewing a historian and asking them to tell you all about the topic. Okay, that's a secondary source, and we actually really discourage kids from interviewing secondary sources.
Y'all just missed something important. Who can tell me what they just said?
Citation. Citation.
No, not even close.
Guidebook sections.
Guidebook sections.
What they said, and I'll say it so you guys can write it down.
Primary/secondary sources.
Nope.
Interlude.
Stop. Seriously, I want to play Uno. Okay.
How about we just do it right now?
No, we have to get through this.
We can do it right now.
Guys, this is important. Listen.
Okay, so basically what they said is in NHD, there's a difference between interviewing historians and doing oral history. Interviewing historians is considered a secondary source because you're just asking them to tell you everything they know about the topic. That's discouraged in NHD because you are also considered a historian. Historians don't interview historians, so do not interview a historian. Oral history is like basically interviewing a primary source or like someone that was like at the event that you're doing a thing on, or like a descendant of someone that was at the event or something like that. So, they do recommend that.
Wait, so but what if like everybody during that time, or somebody that knows like somebody during that time, like what if they're all dead? So do you still interview historians, or?
Just, you don't have to do interviews in NHD.
But like for documentaries.
I thought that was the most.
You still don't have
the
to.
most thing that
Yeah.
you needed, like the most important thing that you need, but then apparently you didn't need it. And I
I
was
feel
like,
like
right.
doesn't it add a lot though? Like
It
like,
does,
seems
but like you can't always do that. Another important thing to consider is there are interviews that have been done before that you can cite. So like if you can find an interview that someone has from like a World War I veteran that obviously isn't alive anymore, you can cite that as an interview. It just wasn't conducted by you.
Yeah, that's what I did with like 12 Hours of John Brown.
Yeah, except that I'm pretty sure that person was a historian though. So,
Yeah.
so
But-
like I didn't mean it like that. I mean like it's like if there is documentation of someone interviewing John Brown, you could use that.
But I feel like aren't interviews like super important though? Because like I feel like it just adds a lot different. I don't know. It adds. something
It
different than
does,
just
but you
your
can't
voice
always
and-
do that.
You can't always do it. Like,
So is it that
do you think they
bad?
had interviews for the ancient Chinese winning topic? No.
But
They
is
had
it
no.
like-
we
is it
probably-
Everyone's
bad
dead
to have
from
a
that.
Yeah, we
historian,
probably
or-
can't do interviews.
No.
Because
This is
Henrietta's dead.
it's a fine line. This is something once we see Miss Hurst again, that's something you can ask her. She can probably explain it a little better than I
So
can.
is it how bad is it to have a historian? Like should we just never, or
I would
is it
highly recommend not doing that.
alright?
They consider you historians. Like,
I remember this one
That's
case
what
where I
I'm
read it,
into,
and they
like,
had like a historian doing something, and like they like included it in their paper, and they got like first
Yeah,
and second.
yeah. There was the
Max
Nikola
guy?
Tesla.
Oh.
I don't know. It was the Nikola Tesla one that like won the NHD stuff. Like he.
Yeah, but there like
historians.
most of the time that isn't the case. Just like you're not supposed to act out like stuff in your documentary, but there's one person that did it that won. There's like weird exceptions. But like based on previous patterns, I would not recommend doing that.
You're not my mom.
This is- we want them to interview people who would be considered primary sources on the topic. Let's see, we've answered questions about, if they find a quote, say in a textbook, that is useful to them, how do you deal with that? We call that as finding a source within another source. We've got some explanation there for how to treat that. The best case scenario is that the kids will go look up the original. Because if they just take the quote out of the textbook, they aren't seeing any of the context around the quote, right? And so it's important to see that context and see that quote as part of its larger source, rather than just pulling it out of the textbook to use. We have a great chart on what constitutes reasonable adult help. And we've got some good information on how to count words in the different categories, and some good definitions of what source credits are and captions and that kind of thing. So this is information that I think early you will want to review so that you can kind of talk about these things when it comes up. But also, this is kind of, I think you'll come to this in the middle of the process too, if kids are having questions as they do the research. here are some really important rules, like rules that the kids need to follow, that they need to know early on. Rule number 1, this is how they're listed in the book, that the research needs to be started in the current contest year, which starts on July 1st. What this means is that kids cannot build on the same topic from year to year to year to year. They need to start over with a new topic and do new research every year. You'll have a lot of kids who have an interest in like World War II or the Cold War. That's okay, but they need to pick a very different topic and not reuse sources from work that they've done before.
Like no sources?
That's rule number 4. Yeah. You cannot use any sources that you've used before from any other year. And you cannot obviously do the same topic.
Could I combine two of my two topics?
They have access
like
to your last
women's
paper as
rights
well.
and Holocaust. Like if I found a way to do
They
that.
found even one source.
You can do
Wait,
women's
what
rights.
happens if they find like even one source? Will they like dock you or will they like eliminate you?
I don't know. I don't even know if that's ever happened.
They hang us. Yes, perfect.
But Sammy, I wouldn't.
Start singing is
I think it's fine if we do women's rights again. I don't know if they're against that or not. Just don't reuse any sources, and obviously don't do Susan B. Anthony again.
Well, I won't now. She's freaking racist.
Alright.
I will never, ever do anything about her ever again.
Rule 4 is the original work rule. This means that the work done is done by this particular student, not by an older sibling several years ago and they just pull it out of the basement, not by, another student that they're sharing research, not by mom or dad, that it's the original work of a student. Plagiarism, we talked about reasonable adult help. You all know the parents that you're going to be working with, and this can be a real problem in some schools, like over involvement of the parents, and then in other schools it's hardly an issue. And so there are a lot of guidelines in the rule book about how to think about what's a reasonable amount of parent help. For younger kids, more help is going to be not problematic. Anytime kids are using.
Okay, so she's not really explaining this well. So,
yep.
For an exhibit, like, if parents help you, like, cut the wood or, like, put the exhibit together, that's fine. But, like, they can't, like, I don't know. They can't, like, actually decorate the board, Like, it's only stuff that, like, it's, like, safety measures, basically. Or, like...
How would they know?
Technically, you're right, but I'm just saying. Or, like, for a documentary, it's okay to, like, ask for help on how to use an editing software, but they can't actually incorporate that into your documentary. Like, the parent can't mess with your documentary, they can only show you how to do something, if that makes sense, or explain it.
Power tools, I think parents should probably be helping. But what we want to avoid is parents taking over the project, and just doing the work for the kids. All right, and then there is a really important rule about hazardous materials and prohibited items. We just have taken a really hard line on weapons and replicas and toys that look like weapons. That was a big gray area for a long time, but I've honestly had parents walk into one of my contests carrying an actual gun and saying it's fine because the pin is out. It's not fine. So we wanted to be really clear, because there are a lot of replicas and toys that look very real. These are public events. We just cannot have anything that is a weapon or is a toy or a replica of a weapon. And that's going to include swords, guns, knives, hatchets, anything like that. They can make something out of cardboard and paint it, but that's the most they can do. And then hazardous materials, this is like anything that might damage the venue, or people might have an allergy if they touched it, like a dry ice machine, or, things like that. Okay, And then one of the really common points of, I'm not going to say confusion, but people really need clarity on what do we mean by student composed words. This is how words are counted in the exhibit category and the website category only. And students do need to understand what we're looking for and how to count their words. So as student composed words include the following: the student's narrative, their project title, any headers, their subheads, captions, timelines that the students create, multimedia that the students create. It's basically all of the text that is composed by the students in the project. Big confusion, but people really need clarity on what do we mean by student composed words. This is how words are counted in the exhibit category and the website category only. And students do need to understand what we're looking for and how to count their words. So as student composed words include the following: the student's narrative, their project title, any headers, their subheads, captions, timelines that the students create, multimedia that the students create. It's basically all of the text that is composed by the students in the project. So not included as a student composed word is direct quotes, the source credits. If they use actual documents or images in their project, their footnotes or endnotes, their annotated bibliography, and their process paper are all not included in that student composed word count. Okay? And here's where I had my guidelines for quoting. This is from a tool that's in the Padlet and in the guide. When you're quoting, you want to be careful about quoting too much and quoting too little, right? There is an art to quoting well. So you do want to use primary source quotes to present the historical evidence that's informing their argument. You don't want to use secondary source quotes to get around the word limit. You really don't want to do that. That's why we invented student voice. You do always, when you're quoting, want to be very selective and precise, because quoting one or two powerful sentences is going to be a lot more effective than pasting in a whole paragraph. The more students can zoom in the focus on the really meaningful part of the quote, the more mileage they will get out of it. Plus, their project won't look so crowded. It's just more effective in almost every way to do that. Any questions about this? How to count, how to think of student composed words and how to quote? Okay. All right, and then here is what I would save for later from the rule book. I would save pretty much all of the category specs. So after the kids have gone through the research process and done a lot of the writing, but before they actually start to build their project, that's the point where I think you come back to the rule book and you really drill down on the details for their category, okay? I've created a number of summary tools, which I'm gonna use in these slides today, but don't rely on the summaries when it comes time to build. Make sure that the kids are reading the rule book and they understand all of the category rules, because there are a lot of detailed specs for each of the creative categories. This, again, this is a summary. It is not, there's more in the rule book, but these are the essentials. So exhibits, the size of the exhibit space, the student composed word limit for exhibits is 500 words maximum. That is the challenge of doing an exhibit, is getting your point across in 500 words or less of student composed words and not overusing quotes. There is, exhibit kids can use up to 2 minutes of multimedia if they would like. Source credits are required beneath the images and quotes on the board, as well as a complete citation in the bibliography. There are some setup issues that we want to make sure families know about for in-person contests. And that is that students really need to set up their exhibit once they get to the contest on their own. Of course, grown-ups can help carry the things into the building and help lift the boards up onto the table, but students need to be putting that exhibit together once it's all set up there on the table. There are some rules about self-contained materials in the exhibit. We don't want you to be linking out your multimedia to YouTube or using QR codes, because those are ways that get around those limits of size and words and multimedia time. Okay, I will move on to the next category unless people have questions. Okay, we'll talk about the websites.
No, I'm joking. Keep going.
This one probably. Go ahead, Brian.
At one point I thought you said that they were like almost like a little screen and do some like a little video. Oh, yeah, the multimedia, that's the optional one, right?
Yes.
The multimedia, that's 2 minutes maximum. Okay.
Yes.
But any words on that or anything don't count towards the student total, or that's.
So usually what multimedia is in an exhibit is, like, say,
video clips.
It's video and audio clips typically. And it will typically be primary sources, or maybe music. I know Renee's granddaughter did a project on the Beatles, and her multimedia was.
I was actually thinking about doing the Beatles.
But I think that's what she did. So it's stuff like that. It's not really meant to present more student argument. it is a way to bring in those kinds of primary sources.
24 likes, by the way.
That's a great question. Thanks, Ryan.
We should give it 25.
All right, let's talk about websites. If you have kids building websites, make sure that they look at the rulebook carefully when they get started. There are a lot of technical details for this category. The most important thing is that they do need to use NHD Web Central as their builder. That's integrated with our contest management system. And so that's what they need to use. The word limit for websites is 1,200 student-composed words. That's the maximum. They can do less. And then the multimedia limit for websites is 3 minutes maximum. Again, a website is a good category to choose if kids have multimedia video and audio clips that they can pull in from their research. Source credits are required in this category as well, just the way they are in exhibits, and we talked about those already. Websites do need to be self-contained. That means they cannot link outside of their Web Central site to, say, a YouTube video that is lives on YouTube. Okay, so everything needs to be contained in the website without linking outside of it. There is what's called a site key for each Web Central site. And they need to know what that is so that they can provide it to us when they register for their contest. That key is what's going to allow us to link judges to their website to be viewed.
Yes.
And then the required written materials need to be made into 2 separate PDFs and then embedded in the website. And there's a tool in there. I would recommend, having looked at a lot of websites, I would recommend that kids do not put these PDFs side by side on their page, but they put them top and bottom because they're much easier for the judges to read if the view window is bigger. All right. Questions about website? Okay. Paper, this is the easiest, shortest specs. We already know that you can use MLA or Chicago. We already know that you should use footnotes or endnotes. Those are preferred. The word count for a paper, there is a minimum. It's 1,500 to 2,500 words in the body of the paper. That doesn't include their footnotes, endnotes, bibliography, appendices, and it doesn't include the process paper either. So they will write a process paper to tell the judges about their research process. That's required now in this category. And so it needs to be layered in with their materials after the title page and before their paper begins. Performances are meant to be performed live. If we are virtual and you're submitting recordings, they still need to be shot in one take live and not edited. So it is meant to be a live kind of medium. The time limit is 10 minutes maximum. And the time starts after the students state their name and the project title. Students should be designing, creating their sets, setting up and operating their equipment without adult help. But adults can help them carry sets into the building. Students can either make or buy or rent costumes. They don't need to have really elaborate costumes. It's not required. And performances can be really successful with simple costumes. So, encourage them to think creatively and spend less money, I would say. And it's fine if parents want to help sew the costumes, that's okay. Any questions about performances? Oh, new rule about audience interaction. We're trying to be clear that we're not having audience interaction as part of performances. Okay, moving on. Documentaries are similar to performances, a 10-minute maximum. Students need to write the script, do the recordings, the editing, the narrating, operating all the equipment, all that without adults' help. Adults can show them how to use the software, but students need to do the work. And I'm going to say right now that next week and the next week, the Utah Film Center is going to do our 2 sessions for us that are specific to making documentaries for NHD and how to guide your students through the process. And they've got loads of great tools. So be sure to join us. I met with Julie today. It's going to be so good. Let's see. Other questions that come up about documentaries. This just came to me this week. Students are not supposed to be performing in their documentaries. It's not a reenactment film. It's a Ken Burns documentary. Okay, so the images should be primary sources or video clips, still photos, but not.
Okay, Wendy, there was one, and it was a national winner, I want to say maybe a junior, where the girl did like it wasn't a performance, but she did like a whole intro where she spoke for a minute. Is that okay? Yeah. And I mean, it was a video of her. Yeah. I mean, it was videotaping her talking about about her documentary. And then it went into her documentary. So I just thought that was interesting and odd all at once. Yeah. But she was like the national winner. And then you think, every time I try to show my kids an example of something and say what not to do, then I pull up national winners and they did it. And it's like, never mind.
What I think we've also had kids who think of it as I'm going to be on 60 Minutes where you can see the interviewer and the interviewee. And kids will do that. I think those things, that's more like a news.
Right.
That's where I think kids, I would still tell them not to. I would still show them a Ken Burns film. Just because then I think it's more clear. But really, this is about not getting into reenactments and costumes and them doing a dramatic portrayal. If that's what they want to do, they should do a performance.
Right. Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Is that helpful? people, I mean, it's a bit of a, it's a good question because there are so many historical documentaries that do use the reenactment that I think we need to be very clear that that's not what we want. Okay. I feel like that's enough talk about the rules. You ready to talk about the rubrics and the rewritten criteria? So exciting. Okay, I was trying to think about the best way to batch these so that they're not overwhelming to us as we look at them. And I grouped them this way, which is probably not the right way to do it.
To come to Subway this weekend because I am going to die.
Attention.
Attention.
Listeners. Okay. If you're planning. Okay, I'll just stand over here. I was planning for there to be more people, but if you want to do quiet. If you want to do an individual project, go there. If you want to do a group project, go there.
What if I want to do an individual team?
You can't.
Hey, do you want to do
Is there anywhere that whoever says that you can't?
Wait, Nora.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
What do you think? There would be less competition, and I mean, there's nobody else on the team doing a duo documentary. So,
Go slower.
So there's nobody else on the team doing a duo documentary.
What about documentary?
So it'd be less competition on the team, meaning more of the team gets to possibly nationals. But then also doing a documentary as a group is also really hard because
I did it in 8th grade.
I mean,
It's not
yeah,
that
I
hard.
guess we use the same
It
account,
is
but
not
then
that
we'd also
hard.
have to communicate and we'd have to like meet up.
Have sleepovers.
Oh yeah, you would have to like communicate.
Wow. We do it in track.
Get up in the hot tub.
You talk about him enough. Maybe you should
Do you
start
guys have
talking to
sleepovers after
Are you
classes
two
and
gay?
stuff?
I want to ask.
Yes.
If you want to do solo,
They are.
This is a very hot.
I don't know, I'm undecided. I mean, what do you want to do, Andrew?
You don't base it off each other. I can get you with a group if you want to do
what's the
group.
topic we're doing?
I was thinking Dynamite, because that's like Alfred Nobel.
Wait,
in his life.
Be more specific with your purpose, please.
Okay. I don't know, like, okay, Alfred Nobel and how he created dynamite and why he created it and
How
I
he
don't know who
created
he
it,
is,
when he
but
created it.
I mean we can do separate. I mean it's gonna be competition, but
How's that
Yeah,
frontier
I
in
just
history?
read
Frontier in history explain.
basically dynamite, big boom boom.
Wow.
Okay.
So educated. So sophisticated.
I don't really like that topic, but it's okay.
It's well done.
What yet?
Okay, but okay, I don't know, man.
Are you moving over to solo?
So you're both doing solo.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
My white brothers.
So
My white brothers.
For hardcore.
performance, paper, documentary.
I don't know. What are they?
What are the 5?
We are
Okay.
We are loyal.
Documentary,
We are the
exhibit,
loyal ones.
performance, website.
I don't think you'd be really in the paper at all, so.
No, I don't
Are you just saying that so he doesn't?
I don't think you would like website either.
Both ways. I
You
feel
might
I
like
don't
the
think you would like
performance.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Are you the
might,
type
I
of
don't
person to
know.
perform a really embarrassing skit in front of multiple
maybe it's
people?
like it's more likely beautiful.
I mean you do wanna do humor centered, so
So, okay,
practice.
I feel like exhibit or performance would work good for you.
If I can
What do you
pull
think?
up it's here.
I don't
Wait,
know.
don't I have to memorize the whole entire script?
It also depends on what topic you're thinking. What do you have an idea at all yet?
Probably not.
Okay. Well, you keep thinking.
Okay. That sounds
Sam, do you have paper?
Yes.
Okay. So you know we might have a 3rd paper this year.
No!
If we get Michael.
Wait, Michael Risner?
No, different Michael.
Oh, thank goodness.
No,
No, not
that
Parrish.
one. Not that one either.
Parrish is dumb.
Michael Brown.
Yeah.
We're gonna try and get
Who's
Michael
that?
Brown.
Oh, is he a freshman?
He's
Didn't
gonna
he-
be a sophomore.
Never
Didn't
mind.
he
yeah.
replace-
He was an
We
optional
were hoping
sophomore.
it wasn't a different.
Wait, he's
No,
You didn't want Parrish?
No,
it's
different.
Michael
Different.
Devlin.
Wait, is
different.
Oh.
Does he,
Michael Devlin.
Michael Parrish is my
does he have
favorite
a
Michael.
mullet?
I don't know.
Keep that in.
I didn't know very
Such
well.
an idiot.
I don't.
Okay.
Not that bad.
Not
Documentary?
But he did get like a 20.
Documentary?
He's been walking around.
Okay, well, I don't know, I kinda wanna do Punic Wars too, but like there's just not
Just make an oversimplified video for Punic Wars. I don't know.
I mean, there's
Yeah,
no
no, we can
primary
recreate
sources.
the movie of RRR, but
No.
yeah.
I want to see an animation project about your
So
kids, like,
what I would
history.
suggest for you is if you want to do the Punic Wars, I can send you the ancient
It all
Chinese.
started with a picture in a hot tub.
Shush, people.
I'm black enough for it, so.
I can send you. Oh my
Yeah,
god,
some
I'm trying to.
Yeah, you
Nate
can
and I are
sing.
talking. Nate and I are talking. Thank you. Okay. Not that I want
But
to.
Nick has to bring us over.
No, come back. Okay, if you want, I can send you the, like, it was a performance, I think, the ancient Chinese topic that, like, won or placed or something, and you can look at their annotated bib and see how they found their primary sources.
Alright.
I can do that. Okay.
Exhibit.
Exhibit,
What are you
what
doing
topic?
again? Exhibit?
Performance.
We're thinking Henrietta Lacks.
I'm
Is
excited
it
about
music
that.
girls?
So now we're
Yeah. Maybe.
I still have the book and like
How,
all the
what time
research.
period is that?
If a person gets radiant, what color do they turn when they die? Green?
Yeah, they do go like a green. They're still glowing.
But it's good for their
So you gotta get like some
The
green
problem
cakes or
is,
something, so like I just spray them all over
it
yourself.
was really
You have to get up on my shoulders, you know, and just run around like feet up and down.
You're holding them up. I think I'm a strong
Quiet!
How much you can lift?
If I'm not talking to you, you should not be talking right now.
Henrietta Lacks and how our souls just because the holy wax.
Yeah.
So that shouldn't be flexing all the time.
Because she's helped a lot, but we should probably nail it down.
Yeah, we're gonna narrow it.
I don't want to like I can do like 400 my legs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fast man.
I'm slow.
If any of you change your minds, let me know, because the point of this was more people were supposed to be here, and I was going to set up groups. And the issue with that is a lot of people don't know each other, but right now it's not an issue because nobody's here. So, yeah.
I don't know who any of you are.
What?
Wait, Nora, are you doing a project this year?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Oh my gosh, you're doing that.
Where are you
I'm
guys
most
doing,
likely doing a
exhibit
documentary
again?
and might do an exhibit.
That's good. That's good.
See us for more than.
Yeah.
But if I do an exhibit, I'm going to want to go all out, and like I'm probably going to like break myself or something. Anyways, you can get back to your seats.
Okay, and you're literally just gonna follow you your entire life. You have no choice.
You literally are following me after high school.
Okay, I just need like 5 more minutes of silence, and then we can play video.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is there anyone note taking?
Sweet.
That's my
Okay.
Oh shoot, I forgot to do an AC student.
Okay.
Me too.
Your homework.
Okay.
We have 2 things to do for homework. I guess you might want to write this.
Oh, we have homework.
Okay, first,
It's not even school.
it's pretty easy. And technically, you don't have to do it, but I highly recommend. Anyways, first, finalize on a topic you want to make your project on. Make sure it's specific and unique, something you genuinely think could win nationals. Our next meeting, this is next, but our next
We're
meeting
gonna
is
add
probably.
him to the group chat.
What?
I wanted to say that we should add him to the group chat.
He is already added.
Okay.
We're gonna make a new group chat eventually. But anyways,
Yes, I've never seen it.
so yeah, and our next Shadi, you guys are starting to talk more than the boys. Okay.
We'll
We're talking
play.
between ourselves. We are listening to you.
You
Well,
can't.
that's a good thing, right?
Technically, you cannot multitask.
I can.
So you can't do that.
Technically,
Multitasking is
Brain
healthier.
strapped
Like if
into
you watch
switch
TV and
tasks.
do your homework, that's healthy.
it's easy.
But you can't focus on both. It is literally impossible to do both. Anyways, that's a proven fact. So yeah, and our next meeting is gonna be Saturday, so it needs to be done by then. And then second, this also needs to be done by Saturday. This Saturday, yes.
Why?
I will be gone in Washington D.C. for a week.
I will be gone as well.
That sucks.
I'm going to the
Wait,
University of
who's gonna be-
Minnesota.
That's
so.
fine. The video will be on YouTube.
Wait, what?
Yes.
So you can watch a 3 to 4 hour video.
3.
What time is the meeting on Saturday?
But yeah, who's
What?
gonna be in
What time
charge?
is the meeting on Saturday?
So unfortunately,
Am I
I'm
gonna be in
only
charge?
free
Can I be in charge?
Who's
so
in
you
charge
probably
of
can't
the
go
meeting?
either because you
Can
work.
I be in charge?
Who's in charge of the meeting?
Me.
I say I vote me because I have been
I
made
am
most
in charge
responsible.
of the meeting.
I thought you said you were gonna be gone.
I will be gone after.
Oh.
Like I am leaving Sunday at 3 a.m. So
Whoa, that's early.
I'm gonna be
in
back at
Washington,
3
DC for a
p.m.
week.
So get ready.
That is so cool, by the way.
I'm
Like,
jealous.
no,
Is it
because
twice
I
a
will.
No.
This is my first time going to Washington D.C.,
Is
but
it
I'm
good?
already probably gonna go for nationals
Who's that? So bad.
next June. So.
Magnum
Hopefully.
Spice.
I want you to go. I want us all to go. Can we just all go to
Well,
nationals?
I'm
Like,
going to go anyway because I want to be able to guide you guys around. But if this is important. This is a good like fundraising, like motivation thing. If we get enough money, I will take all of us to Washington D.C. in June, regardless if you get into nationals.
what?
Yes.
That's
What?
That is only through fundraising of money. I'm thinking the way it's gonna go is obviously we're gonna prioritize money for those that make it to nationals.
How much is it?
I don't know. I haven't made a
Be
funding
like
list.
600 per, because that's how much it was for Atlanta. So.
Well, it's gonna be more, cause like flights
No. It was like 400 for
Like
Atlanta,
to-
so I'm
Just do a road
adjusting
trip.
for it'd be like 600 easily.
Road trip would
It's
be
still, but we also
Road trip
hotels.
would be expensive. Road trip would be even
Road
worse.
trip in
Gas
this
would
gas
be-
price?
Anyways,
Oh,
And
true.
also with
Yeah,
these
that'd be-
people.
But I will quiet. I will not be making a funding list for quite a while, so that's a future thing. I'm just saying right now. I'm obviously gonna prioritize the people that go to nationals. If we don't have enough money for everyone, we're gonna split it evenly between everyone,
We fight
and
to
then
that.
just wait. And like everyone will be responsible for the money that we don't have. Just a second. And then after that, if we have leftover money, we will split it between those that made it to state to go to Washington DC for fun. And then if we have enough money, everyone will be able to go, even the people that only made it to regionals.
So what if we just take a bus?
I once again have not made a funding sheet yet.
Who's gonna drive?
Well, no,
the
not
bus?
like a school bus, just like a public transportation bus.
Oh, Jesus.
I hate
That would be so
Going for like 3 days
I
in
also
a
hate
stale
public
musty bus. I'd rather not.
I would also rather not do that.
I would not be allowed.
I think that's a veto.
We'll debate.
Or we
That
just
is
have
an
to ship
actual
ourselves
veto.
there.
I have a
will
plan.
I've seen
refuse to
YouTube
take
videos on
public
it.
transportation.
Wait, okay.
That's crazy.
Saying that like or like nationals is like we go to nationals like a lot of us. Do parents go? Or are we gonna like not have parents? Maybe like just say no,
No
parents.
parents.
Well, okay,
No
so,
parents.
like
No parents.
My
they
parents
can
are
go
gonna
if they
anyway.
want, but they don't have to because
Will we have
Sandy
somebody?
is going to be coming with us and she will be
My parents.
our
Okay,
parent.
okay, okay.
Just like in middle school,
I
like just how the like school advisor goes, like that's what it's gonna be here.
Okay.
Since she's our coordinator, like she's going with us.
My parents are good.
Are we gonna be
Probably
having
gonna
any
go.
irresponsible
Because
or
my parents
reckless
wanna be
people in this club?
Yeah, we'll be having
I don't
a
know.
No, okay. Here's my reasoning.
You would tell
Here's
me
my
what
reasoning,
my
okay?
mom wanted
Shut
to
up!
do.
Okay,
What?
sorry.
Yeah,
Okay,
Reed's
That
pretty
is
reckless.
So,
He's
when we went to
super
DECA
bad.
for Atlanta, there was a couple of people who had snakes.
Oh.
I will not be allowed.
Who is it?
Okay, I don't want to say. I really shouldn't
Who
say.
is it?
And there were also people who went out onto the street at like 3 a.m. in the morning,
Who is
talked
it?
to hookers.
Sex is
Who is
cool
it?
and all,
Who is it?
but not at MHP Nationals.
Yeah.
No prostitution.
But
No prostitution at nationals.
Was it
what
last
about
year?
3 a.m. hot tub time with Dave?
Technically, yes.
As long as there is no sex involved, I'm
As
totally
long as your
Alright.
clothes stay on.
and as long as Miss Hurst is also okay with that, I do it.
Wait, I mean, gay sex isn't really sex though.
Explain.
Oh my god.
No baby.
Oh my God.
You know what? If those two dumb kids together, I think it is.
Hey, okay, I have an idea. Let's stop talking about this.
Okay, yeah, good idea.
Alright, what's the last thing that you need for us to have done?
Okay, by Saturday, number 2, start with your basic preliminary research. And if you find anything that you probably want to use, gather the links or whatever you need to access the research again in one space, like a Google Doc. Don't begin annotating because that's going to be Saturday's meeting. And I guarantee you're probably going to do it wrong. Okay.
Put down your dates, please.
We've all been in NHG, so.
Well, okay, but you might forget. So you might do it right, but like Gabby's not going to do it right because
Oh,
she
that's
wasn't there
right,
for
yeah.
that. And
And
Andrew
Andrew's
No,
was
I
there.
was there. I
as
was
well.
there.
He's there for like
one of
But he
the
does not remember because he did not actually have to do anything. So, yeah. Next meeting, Saturday. I can only do the afternoon. Sorry, guys. Probably 1 to 5. Because I have a wedding at night and I have to garden in the morning. So, 1 to 5 on Saturday. I'm gonna aim for a library. Pretty sure they're open.
Is it gonna fix Sterling?
Will it be downtown library or Prairie West?
Prairie West, right?
Prairie West?
I'm gonna aim for Prairie West.
Okay, because
I'm gonna
nobody
get
wants to go
downtown
downtown and all that
library
for you. Just pointing that out.
Yeah, I'm gonna call them and see if I can get one of the rooms for 4 hours instead of 2.
Yeah.
Probably Prairie West.
Downtown
Probably.
library. I'm scared of.
Do you guys think I'm gay?
Well, now that my mom's back, I think I'm gonna be allowed to.
I was.
Okay, alright.
I mean,
Hey, we know you're not.
there's
Okay.
Your
there
call
is
is
a
so
little bit,
random.
but
I was like,
I'd say no.
probably Prairie West, and he goes,
I
do you
ended
think I'm
up
gay?
close to this.
Which one?
Maybe.
I mean, if you're asking, like, do you think you're gay?
Do you need to take a quiz?
Anyways, okay, back up.
Sorry.
So the next meeting.
Really want me to be gay, so they made me take this.
Oh my god. Anyways,
Group chat called turned down.
Shuddy.
What do you mean? We're done.
No, we're not.
Oh, okay.
One more thing. Okay, so the meeting is going to be really important because that's when we're going to start researching. We're gonna talk about researching skills, like you said, like finding primary sources, and also we're gonna go over again how to cite and annotate sources. I'm gonna try and be more organized this time than I was last year.
Last year.
I put preferred times because then I realized I have a wedding, so fuck you guys, it's 1 to 5.
no
if you can't go, you
swearing.
can't go.
You gotta put money in the swear jar. That's gonna go towards
If you-
nationals.
No, I do not want this club to be boring. I'm sorry.
We'd all be rich.
I do not want this club to be boring.
So we can just start swearing?
Can we swear?
Yeah, you can swear.
No.
Well, okay,
And
like
nothing of-
maybe
I know
control,
swear.
maybe control the swearing of Miss Hurst.
I don't even swear. I don't even swear. So.
Or like if we're at school, like if we're when we start having school meetings, maybe don't swear at those. But here,
Okay,
it's just us
okay. Mrs. Agar heard you swear like 500 million times last
well,
year.
she doesn't care about me, but like you guys, she would.
Why?
She likes me.
Oh yeah, what did
Um,
that teacher think
yeah, that's
after I
sexism right
finished with my
That's
little
not
acting?
sexism because
It's
she would yell at
racist
Sammy.
and sexist towards
She
me.
would. He said it's sexism.
I want my
but, like,
rights.
She would yell at you though.
Sure,
So.
sure she would.
Me? For
Yeah,
swearing?
like if you swore in front of Miss Agar, she'd probably yell at you.
Did you like do bad in one of her
She don't-
AP
she don't like
classes
me
or
though.
something?
I ended up with an A, okay? I had an A. I had an A. I might have failed the exam, but I had an A.
Wait, what?
I failed the last unit
I
test.
I
Oh
did.
my god.
Study. Oh my god, you have the little Egyptian thing.
Look who's being distracted now.
Anyways,
Yeah, what's the last thing? What's the
that
last